It's an absolutely huge game for both Southampton and West Brom at St Mary's tonight, and the noise has gone up several levels since you were last with us. I can barely hear a thing. There are flames flying into the sky. Russell Martin asked all of the fans to be in their seats nice and early to make sure that this was not a very welcoming trip to the coast, the south coast tonight, and it won't be for West Brom's fans and certainly West Brom's players. We will have a fantastic atmosphere here as they battle it out for a place in the Championship playoff final. Level, goalless after that first leg. Ray Houghton, Liverpool title winner, alongside me, and Jim Proudfoot as well. Fantastic atmosphere, Jim. How much do you think it will affect the players this evening?
I think it can be a real force for good for Southampton, providing they start well. I want to finish though with just repeating ourselves from last night at Leeds, where I felt exactly the same thing. The cauldron-like atmosphere, something that you can harness as a home team, and Leeds were able to do that with a great start, and we saw that it had a very notable effect on Norwich. I don't think it's going to have the same kind of adverse effect on West Brom tonight, but it is essential that Southampton start well to harness this properly, because it has the potential to turn against them if they find themselves starting slowly.
And it will be about that first goal, won't it, Ray?
Oh, huge if we get a first goal. I mean, it could be a long night. If the first leg's anything to go by, but it just seems to me year on year these matches get bigger and bigger. I mean, the noise in the stadium, what's at stake for both these teams, the amount of money that's in offer is absolutely incredible, which puts extra pressure on both these sets of players going into this match. The noise is brilliant. We're looking forward to a cracking game.
And the noise is, I can barely hear you. Hopefully I'm going to pick up and say something that doesn't make no sense whatsoever here. I wanted to ask you about the two managers, the jobs that they have done, because both of them in many ways knights in shining armour for their clubs. Carlos Corberán has provided stability and a new takeover coming in, and Russell Martin, after the season that Southampton had been relegated, has also given something similar to his club.
Two great managers who the players really like, who want to play for. Both of them are very diligent in the jobs that they do, very astute, very forward thinking, and they've got plans in place for tonight's game. It's just who comes out on top, who holds the nerve, who takes the chances when they come their way. But I expect goals tonight.
Does the form matter?
No, that goes all out the window. Chuck it all out, get your books, tear them up, throw them in the bin, it don't matter. It's all about 90 minutes of football now.
Plenty of noise here at a sold-out St Mary's. They're not just hopeful tonight, they're expectant. They've seen this team destroy some sides here during the season with a brand of exciting football. But if there's any team that's going to have a plan for them, it's West Brom. Happy to be labelled underdogs and ready to send the Saints marching into another season in the Championship. It's the playoff semi-final second leg, live on your home of the EFL, Talksport, with the former Republic of Ireland World Cup midfielder Ray Houghton and our very own Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Hugh, and good evening to you as St Mary's hosts its first playoff game for 17 years. Passport for either Southampton or West Brom to reach Wembley and move within 90 minutes of a return to the Premier League. It's a match like few others this stadium has ever seen. Thousands of fans lining the street to welcome the team coach. Smoke, song and the smell of sulphur in the air from 5:30 this evening to whip up the sense of occasion as their beloved Saints eye up promotion at the first time of asking. Even the Ted Bates statue had a tear in its eye. Well, West Brom can testify to how difficult promotion can be. This is their third crack at going back up, which means the parachute payments will run out if they don't make it, as if the game wasn't big enough already. Well, the goalless first leg wasn't nearly as sterile as the first leg of Norwich Leeds had been. Southampton dominating possession but unable to score. Albion organised, disciplined, hard to break down. Characteristics that they will need in spades again tonight. This is how they line up: McCarthy in goal, Walker-Peters, Harwood-Bellis, Bednarek and Stevens, Smallbone, Downs and Aribo, Brooks, Adam Armstrong and Fraser. Albion, Palmer in goal, Furlong, Bartley, Keeper and Townsend. Yakushlu and Mowat, Fellows, Diangana and Johnston and Wallace. And one of the primary weapons for West Brom is the long throw from Darnell Furlong. Southampton, using home advantage, have put in new hoardings 2 metres in from the touchline, which is the minimum distance that they can be away from the touchline. And it could, of course, be purely coincidental. It's not going to do Furlong too many favours as he tries to run up for a long throw, Ray.
No, he probably won't, and that is an aspect of the way that West Brom play when they get the ball into the opposition's final third, certainly from set plays, from throw-ins. He just launches it into the box and it poses problems, particularly when you've got Kyle Bartley coming forward. I think he had the most chances on Sunday of the players on the pitch with his heading ability. The noise we said, we've got to reiterate it, it's absolutely phenomenal. They've done a great job to work the crowd up to get them to this level, but the players have to make sure that they keep themselves focused, relaxed and really confident about their ability and what they're about to do.
Well, it's a fine line between elation and deflation. For one, there's a Wembley date with Leeds and the promise of more. For the other, a summer of reflection and regret. Southampton against West Brom, so often a Premier League fixture, and it'll take the winner back within 90 minutes of the elites. And the first free kick has gone Southampton's way for a foul on Flynn Downs, about 20 yards outside the Albion penalty area.
Kozlo just got caught in midfield there, just took too much time in possession of the ball, and Flynn Downs was on him in a flash. This is a flip side of what happened on Sunday, because it was West Brom that started by far the better of the two. And I know we're only in the first minute of the game, but you can see straight away that Southampton, being the home side, are going to press high, get after this West Brom side as often as possible and get free kicks as he got there down.
Well, Will Smallbone is going to take it, and he just teases it in right-footed towards the edge of the penalty area. It was too low, it was easily headed clear. Smallbone gets onto the clearance himself, ahead of Jed Wallace, and works it all the way back for Alex McCarthy, who's having a run in the side at the end of the season. His first championship appearances for more than 9 years in the absence of the injured Gavin Bazunu, the Irish international, who's been ruled out with an Achilles problem until the new year. Here's Flynn Downs in the midfield for Southampton again, stepping around a couple of challenges quite brilliantly, and then working the ball out towards the right-hand side for David Brooks. And Southampton very easy on the eye. It's one of the hallmarks of any Russell Martin side. Jan Bednarek coming forward. Here's Kyle Walker-Peters, who started on the left. The ball worked into the left-hand side of the penalty area. Rebo back for Walker-Peters, edge of the area. Might have laid it back, went for goal himself. It's cleared and then headed on by Bednarek. Then Diangana closed down quickly by Downs. And now Albion will be able to get out because they've had a free kick given their way just outside their own penalty area. But a couple of minutes gone, an intense atmosphere and an intense start from Southampton to match.
Yeah, that's exactly what you expect from Southampton, being the home side, being the aggressors, taking the game to West Brom. I think actually Walker-Peters just found himself in the left back position, because Jack Stevens has started there. You were just pointing out to me when they last played Southampton against West Brom, he sort of played in that, not the last game Sunday, but before that Stevens played as a left back, Ryan Fraser played ahead of him. So there's going to be interesting because the dynamics change. It's a 4-3-3 now. So you've got Brooks on the right, you've got Fraser on the left. They're going to rotate it around at times as well. You've seen Fraser going back, sometimes playing as a left wing back. So they've got that ability and the flexibility to move it around the Southampton side.
Yes, Stevens has only started 3 games all season as a conventional left back in a 4. And when they've got possession, that's the position that he will gravitate into now. But we've already seen a couple of phases of play when West Brom have the ball, when it will be a back 5 and Fraser drops in to play at left back, but prefer to Ryan Manning in that role today. Stevens has got it now, the Devonian long-serving player here, the Southampton captain. Back for McCarthy, it's 0-0, played 3 minutes, still 0-0 on aggregate here on Talksport on a fine, if a little brisk, early summer's night down here on the banks of the Solent. Southampton playing hurriedly out from the back. McCarthy finding Bednarek. Chip then down towards the left-hand side by Harwood Bellis to bring Jack Stevens forward. Stevens clipping it over the top. And it's a good ball that beat Fellows to find Fraser. Ryan Fraser pulling it back. Stevens again letting the ball run across his body. Plays in Joe Aribo. Southampton moving within 20 yards of the edge of the Albion penalty area. Stevens in a shooting position. He just tried to toe poke one out towards the right-hand side for David Brooks. But Albion are going to be able to clear. Getting forward here for Grady Diangana. Diangana can't get away from Smallbone. And again, the intensity of Southampton's work off the ball. A little bit too much for Albion in these early exchanges.
Yeah, just with Diangana though there, Jimmy, he didn't make his mind up quickly enough what he was going to do with the ball. He had an option with Mikey Johnson over in that left wing position, who'd made a really good run, but he just took an extra touch which allowed Southampton to get back and make the challenge on him. Just the way that they've changed it with Fraser pushing forward, he's got genuine pace, you know, and it's not Furlong that's picking him up, it's actually Fellows that's coming back to as a fifth defender, if you like, to help out, because Fraser is going to get forward at every opportunity over this left side for Southampton.
Monumental territorial advantage for the home side in the opening 5 minutes, but yet to have a view of Palmer's goal. And it's still 0-0 both on the night and on aggregate. Jim Proudfoot and Ray Houghton, the former Republic of Ireland international, talking you through the action from St Mary's tonight. As Fraser turns the ball forward but misdirected. Darnell Furlong wins it, plays it forward for Wallace. The boos will be omnipresent for him tonight as a former Portsmouth player, more than 100 games just down the coast from here. And he works it back via Furlong out towards Kipre. And keeper to the left-hand side for Townsend. Albion just glad to get their foot on the ball for the first time in the game in their home kit tonight of dark blue and white stripes. Played for by Okay Yakushlu, and then eventually behind Tom Fellows. And he goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Southampton left-hand side, midway inside their own half.
Yeah, better from West Brom though. Be happy enough to get a bit of possession of the ball, just get a feel for it. They'll play their way into the game. What happens, Jim, is the full-backs Furlong and Townsend push on, and then Yakozlu comes back and helps out as a third centre-half, which leaves Moa isolated in that midfield. But Diangana's got a huge game to play tonight, because he's playing in that 10 role, and they've got the ball into him, but he's got to sort his feet out quicker and where he's going to make the pass.
Carl Walker-Peters bringing it forward after Adam Armstrong won it back for Southampton in the midfield. Now releasing Smallbone. The ball was slightly overhit. Palmer raced out, knew that Smallbone was going to struggle to get there. And as soon as his presence was there, Smallbone gave up the race and goes out of play for a goal kick. Winners of this against Leeds in the Championship playoff final. It will, of course, be live on Talksport a week on Sunday, May the 26th. We've got two playoff finals between now and then. League One game between Bolton and Oxford tomorrow here on Talksport kicks off at 4:15. And the League Two final, Crawley against Crewe. The two outsiders progress from their semi-finals. They kick off at 1 on Sunday, and that game is live for you over on Talksport 2. This one's 7 minutes old at 0-0.
You might know better than I, but is the Prime Minister, Mr Sunak, is he a Saints fan?
He is a Saints fan.
Yeah, he's here tonight. Yeah, I've just seen him.
From this manor is Adam Armstrong making his way to the dead ball line, but he's fouled a player on the way through. He's born in Southampton, educated in Winchester. Rishi Sunak, just up the road from here.
Same school as you? We'll leave it there, will we?
Here's Kyle Bartley. And he'll play it down towards the right-hand side for Furlong. So we live in the same county. That's probably as far as it goes.
Yeah, you can see with West Brom, they'll just try to slow the game down a little bit. They're fully aware of the start that Southampton have had and the pressure they put on them. Oh,
Palmer made a right mess of trying to play out from the back. Good pressure being applied on him by Adam Armstrong. He did well, actually, under real intense pressure at the end to be able to get the ball out of harm's way.
Great feat, wasn't it, from the goalkeeper? He's a little bit fortunate. Flynn Downs was the one that put him under pressure initially, and then Armstrong helped out. He took it past the two of them. I mean, a remarkable bit of goalkeeping there from him.
Mikey Johnson doing well to recycle the ball on the West Bromwich Albion left, the score of a couple of superb goals in this loan spell from Celtic. Ball played back towards Cedric Kipre. And there's been no let-up in the atmosphere so far, which has transferred itself from outside the ground into the environs of St Mary's. It hasn't always been the case here. This as loud and vibrant as I think I've ever seen it at this ground. Reminiscent of the kind of atmosphere you used to get across the city from here at the Dell. way back when. We're 9 minutes in, it's 0-0. And Albion struggling to get a kick of the ball inside Southampton territory, but for all of that, they have soaked up Southampton's possession pretty ably. And Palmer, apart from that one moment where he was pressurised with the ball at his feet, hasn't had too much to do. Chance for Fellows now to bring the ball forward, and right in front of the travelling Albion supporters, he's won the first corner of the night, Ray.
I keep giving him the ball, him and Johnson. I think they're key. With Diangana, they're the options when you've got possession of the ball, because they can do something a little bit different in possession. He's a natural left foot, but he doesn't mind going to his right side, Fellows. And he's up against Ryan Fraser, who's not a natural defender. Little step over, took it to the byline, tried to whip the ball and come off Fraser and out for a corner.
It's a corner which is going to be taken on the Albion right-hand side. There's going to be a left-footed in-swinging delivery. They've got Johnston waiting on the edge of the penalty area, but all the six-footers are inside the box. 6 of them in all here for the Albion, preparing to attack this. 0-0 on the night, still 0-0 on aggregate. Corners work short. When the delivery does come, it's a real high-hanging ball towards the far post, which is innocuously headed wide. And Cedric Kipre barely hits the side. Diangana, I beg your pardon, barely hits the side netting with his header. It goes out of play for a goal kick.
It was a poor set play, really, wasn't it? You know, they've never really done enough with it. And Moat final ball in. It was a looper, went out to the back post. Never really give Diangana a real chance to get his header on target.
Now Aribo has released Fraser down towards the left-hand corner flag. Back for Aribo, who once scored in a Europa League final. Back for Fraser again. Fraser's ball towards the edge of the penalty area, laid off by Downs. Stevens has got it, plays it through the midfield. And he goes out to Harwood Bellis, young centre-half on loan from Manchester City. Walker Peters turning it forward. David Brooks has got it now, another one of the low knees here. Good run forward inside the area from Adam Armstrong, but Southampton couldn't find him. Bartley seeing to that, and Townsend and Johnston under pressure inside their own penalty area. Eventually, Yakushlu's able to get it clear and just get it out of harm's way. McCarthy sweeping up 20 yards outside his penalty area gets Southampton going again. 11 minutes gone. One-way traffic, but no shots on target so far.
Yeah, not so far. And they're finding it difficult to break West Brom down. They're really disciplined at the moment. They're just keeping their shape. I was watching Kyle Bartley when the Southampton fans were making all the noise. He was just telling his team, just keep calm.
Ball chipped over the top here, and the referee's got a decision to make. The decision he's made is no penalty. Brooks going down, felt that there was a shove. I don't think he was going to get to the ball. Maybe that was in the referee's thinking. But Tim Robinson, who was very well placed, waved the appeals away immediately.
Yeah, Connor Townsend was the player that made contact with David Brooks. Was it enough to bring him down? I'm not so sure. But I looked straight away at the assistant. I think he had the better view of it. He was looking right across the line at the incident and straight away didn't motion at all for a penalty. Referee was in a decent position himself to see the two players coming together.
Yeah, it's Mark Scholes running the line on the far side and completely uninterested in giving anything Southampton's way there. Saints in possession again with Flynn Downs, scooping one over the top, but out towards the left-hand touchline. Just a slightly cuter angle on the ball forward would have got Adam Armstrong in there potentially. It goes out of play. Just having another look at the incident now, I think Brooks has gone down really easily.
Yeah, and Townsend just had a grab of his arm. I mean, whether that was enough to bring him down, I'm not so sure. But he gambled there, the left full-back for West Brom, in the manner that he just put his hands out. But I don't think it was personally.
Darnell Furlong's got the ball in his hands and restarts play for West Brom with a throw, which having had the ball played back to him by Yakushlu, he volleys over towards the far touchline for Townsend. It bounced right in front of Townsend. The bounce saw the ball sail over his head. But he was under no pressure. He had plenty of time to run round it, bring it back under control. And Albion are going to be able to get it forward through the midfield here for Grady Diangana. And now they'll work it towards Okay Yakushlu, Turkish international back for Kyle Bartley, who's one of 13 players on the Albion staff who are out of contract in the summer. 4 of those are loanees. They've got another 9 who will be free agents. Kipre alongside him at centre-half, Alex Mowat in the midfield. The other starters tonight whose future at the moment remains uncertain. Southampton in the same boat have Che Adams, goalkeeper Alex McCarthy, and the injured Stuart Armstrong all out of contract. I think Adams certainly will be playing his football elsewhere, with plenty of interest from Premier League clubs, the likes of Wolves. And Adams not involved tonight. They're hoping, though, that if Southampton were to qualify, that they could get him back for the game against Leeds United in the playoff final a week on Sunday, if Southampton get there. It's 0-0 tonight, 14 minutes gone as the sun continues to fall here at St Mary's, just peeping over the Kingsland stand over on the far side from us. Saints in possession at the back with Harwood Bellis. They've made the better start. The game pretty much transpiring as we expected it would so far, right?
Yeah, so far you would expect the home side to come out, the aggressors, take the game to the opposition. That's certainly been the case, but they've not had the cutting edge. You know, I think without Che Adams, they're just struggling a little bit to create any real opportunities. Adam Armstrong, he'll work hard for you, but he's isolated, you know, because you've got Brooks right over on that right hand side, Fraser over on the left, and it's up to Smallbone and Aribo to make breaks from midfield to supplement the lone striker. And at the moment they're dealing with it comfortably enough, West Brom, although I think they're playing too slow, West Bromwich Albion. I think the passing is not crisp enough. It's not been moved, they're not moving the ball quickly enough around the pitch.
Smallbone wins and then takes a free kick. So what does Southampton need to do, apart from stop Adam Armstrong being isolated? What do they need to do to make this possession count for something more tangible? Might be able to do it now. Good ball down the right side of the area for Armstrong. Armstrong playing it back in, and it's fired wide of the near post by the advancing Brooks.
Yeah, came in a little bit quick there, David Brooks, from that right hand side. Lovely ball played down the side of the back line of West Brom. They didn't spot the run of Armstrong. Really good run, timed it to perfection. Definitely onside, no question about it. Got in behind Kipri, who was watching him. And then he just tried to pick out his teammate, and he did so with Brooks, but he was coming on so quick they couldn't really get the contact required to put Palmer under pressure. But that was a decent chance for Southampton.
They did lose the last home game here, a 1-0 defeat to Steve Schumacher's Stoke, but they won 4 of the previous 5. Their home record pretty tidy. I mean, it has actually been lousy for years, their home record here. I mean, last season they only won twice. It took just 11 points. This year, 15 home wins, but still beaten 5 times. Leicester, Ipswich, Hull, Millwall and Stoke all coming here to win. Albion, though, away from home, not great. Didn't beat any of the top 8 on the road. Only the 14th best away record. So lower mid-table form away from home for West Bromwich Albion. Needing something tonight. They were beaten here 2-1 back in November when Smallbone and Adam Armstrong scored for the Saints, and Kyle Bartley, who will take this free kick for them on halfway, netted the Albion goal. He's played it out towards the youngster Tom Fellows, who benefited from a really good loan spell at Crawley last season and has done superbly in his first season as a Championship player. He's made a run infield now, which means there's a little bit of width outside him for Furlong. Furlong getting it back from Fellows again. Now Fellows on the right-hand side of the penalty area, wanting to get it onto his left foot. Can go the other way, though. Chipping it in dangerously towards the far post. If anything, it was a miscue. But McCarthy had to backpedal really quickly to tip that over the bar as the Albion forwards came in.
Yeah, once again, that's Fellows on that right-hand side. Little step over. He got away once again from Ryan Fraser. And you say it wasn't a particularly good cross, wasn't it? It certainly wasn't, trying to chip McCarthy in the goal. But the keeper done really well because he kept his eye on it all the way. Just got enough on it to tip it over the top of the crossbar. This is where they're a threat, though, Jim. And it's Kyle Bartley as the player you keep your eye on. Wallace is going to take the free kick. There'll be an in-swinger, but Bartley's the one with the movement and the power and the strength and the aerial ability. They're the ones that Southampton got to keep their eye on.
Second corner of the night, Johnston standing right in front of the goalkeeper. 5 more Albion players in the penalty area, and they were all within about 5 feet of the penalty spot. Corner comes in, works short, played back in, good sliding challenge, gets it away. Counter-attack is on. David Brooks taking the ball on single-handedly here. Running towards the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed shot from him, takes a looping deflection. And Albion got enough bodies back and going to be able to get it away. It was 1 against 4 on the counter-attack. And the 1 looked the favourite for a moment. He's dancing through them all.
Well, it all came from West Brom's corner. They took the short corner, which surprised everyone. Mikey Johnson played the ball back. It was a strike that came in. I think it was the skipper Stevens came out and got a massive block in, and then Brooks was off and running. He was looking for us to support. I think Armstrong made up an awful lot of ground to give him an option on this left-hand side. Decided to go on his own, but when he took the strike off, it was Townsend, the left full-back, who got back to get the block.
19 minutes in, another good ball inside the area. Fraser bringing it down. And Fellows, who watched him every step of the way, stuck his foot in. Heart might have been in his mouth for a moment as it went perilously close to the near post, but to safety, out of play for a corner, which Smallbone will come across to take.
I'll tell you what, a better touch from Fraser. He was in there, wasn't he? Good movement from him, because once again it's Fellows that's picking him up. It isn't Furlong, but his touch just let him down at that moment, and Fellows done enough to get back to put out for a corner.
Smallbone to take the corner. It's Southampton Spurs to the 9. Ryan Fraser, probably the smallest man on the pitch, stands in the near post area. Might be able to get himself into a position for a flick on. 5 in two-tone red will make runs in from deeper. Joe Aribo coming in towards the near post area now. Smallbone waits, gives the signal, then gives another signal, raising the left arm above the head. He's worked it short as well. Finding Flynn Downs, back in from Smallbone, looking for a little flick from Aribo, and it hits an Albion player. Bartley it was, and it goes out for another corner.
Yeah, well, all at sea there, weren't they, the West Brom players? They didn't anticipate the short corner, and it's on to do so. Every opportunity you should be taking. The odds are brilliant in your favour, 2v1.
Smallbone to take it again, doesn't look short this time. Curves it in, Palmer comes out, good emphatic punch from the Albion goalkeeper. Out as far as Armstrong. Armstrong's 15 yards outside the penalty area when he plays in Walker-Peters. He looks for the width and finds Brooks. Left-footed ball curved in from him. Diving header away from Kipre. And then it comes off Wallace and goes out of play for another Southampton throw. This one level with the edge of the Albion penalty area if they want to take it that far forward. Walker-Peters, when he was handed the ball, was about 6 yards deeper than that. Actually picks it up and throws it back now for Harwood Bellis. A nonchalant ball from him for Jan Bednarek, the Polish international, into the feet of Smallbone. Back for Harwood Bellis again, nearing halfway. Southampton playing their football a little bit deeper now, just trying to draw West Brom onto them. Bearing in mind that ball over the top of the Albion back line has looked as though it might make hay. Just trying to get that back line further up the field, condensing the play to give them more room to hit it. Ball played forward in towards Downs. Really good challenge on him from Kipre. And then he's beaten Smallbone as well in a 50-50, but it's looked off Kipre all the way through for McCarthy. Ray, we've played just short of 22 minutes here. Southampton dominating, West Brom steadfast at the back.
Yeah, they're just keeping the shape, they're nice and solid. They look like they're playing like a back five on occasions. Jim Dunn, the Fellows coming back into a right wing back position. Furlong going in as a third centre half. It's up to Southampton just to retain their possession, which they've done on so many occasions this season. Virtually every home game that they've played, they've had more possession than the opposition. But it's what you do with it in that final third, and they've just not done quite enough so far. But it has looked promising on occasions.
Stevens taking a throw in towards the chest of Flynn Downs, the midfielder on loan from West Ham, who played for Russell Martin at Swansea, and renewing his acquaintance this year. A little stumble from Dean Garner when he was in possession on a heavily watered pitch. Chance for Albion to bring the ball forward, and they're doing so very ably here with Townsend, and then Johnston comes across and wins a corner, which is Albion's third.
Yeah, good play down that left hand side. Mikey Johnston's always a threat. You can see Walker-Peters is quite quick himself, but he's not going in to try to win the ball from him. He's just trying to jockey him, waiting for Johnston to open up what he's going to do with the ball. And as he tried to curl in with his left foot there, he just put enough pressure on him. But another set play opportunity for West Bromwich Albion. A couple that they've taken, Jim, they've gone short. And just with Bartley in there and Kipre coming forward, you think now and again you just chip one in there and let your big players go and attack it.
So will it be a direct delivery this time? I think it almost certainly will be. And he comes from Mowat towards the penalty spot. It's Bartley with a header into what would have been a dangerous area. Dean Garner was lurking. It's cleared and then played back in again for Dean Garner, who gets a smart shot in on the turn. And it's deflected off Bednarek and goes behind for another corner.
Yeah, he was free, wasn't he? How Bartley initially for the first header, no one around him. He just tried he knew he couldn't go for goal, he was too far around, and there was no real pace on the ball, so he just tried to loop it back into the 6-yard box, and Southampton didn't really deal with it. And it looks like they've changed their mind. They looked initially there was a corner that was given.
Yeah, but Dean Garner was offside, and
he's slightly injured at the moment as well, which is a concern, I'm sure, for the manager.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the relative strength of the benches. Southampton will feel that they've got a few more players of real genuine quality to be able to call upon, including Ross Stewart, whose time down here has been marred by injuries. He picked up an Achilles injury when he was a Sunderland player. Southampton signed him injured. They got him back to fitness. He then did his hamstring and missed another 6 months. But although he hasn't started a game for nearly 70 weeks, he's on the bench and certainly a proven player at second-tier level that they can call upon if necessary later in the game. 24 gone 0-0.
Just looking at both managers in the technical areas, Russell Martin wanted David Brooks to come a little. They've obviously worked in this room. David Brooks to come towards the halfway line, and then he's just going to flip the ball over to this left-hand side to pick out Ryan Fraser, and Corberan was straight away onto his players. He was furious that obviously they realised what the plan was from Southampton, and one or two of his players had just switched off.
Albert Bellis has got it at the back for Southampton. These two sides try to get within 90 minutes of a return to the Premier League. Meanwhile, this season's Premier League's conclusion is on Sunday, and of course we've got it covered for you. Arsenal try to win the league for the first time in 20 years and deny Manchester City their piece of unprecedented English footballing history as the ball's played forward and Fraser's touch lets him down again. Arsenal in action at home to Everton, and if the Gunners are going to win the league title for the first time since 2004, you will hear it only on Talksport. The game kicks off at 4. Also at 4, Sheffield United against Spurs. Spurs needing the positive result to cement 5th and Europa League football. That's on Talksport 2. And we've got loads of games on the Talksport app as well, including the matches involving Liverpool, Manchester United and Newcastle. If you've got the Talksport app, there's a tab on it that says live football. Everything will become apparent. If you haven't got it, suggest you download it, as we've got more live Premier League action for you on the final day of the season, way more than anybody else, including Arsenal-Everton at 4 here on Talksport. The ball's gone out of play here for a throw which will be taken on the Southampton left-hand side. That's the near touchline. They kick it from right to left towards the chapel end of the ground here at St Mary's. The throw taken back for Taylor Harwood-Bellis. 26 gone.
Yeah, you know the game needs a goal. You know, you just need something to liven up a little bit. I've got to say Fraser's made 2 really good runs from this left wing position infield, and Fellows is picking them up more often than not. Just been caught ball watching both occasions, and but for a better touch, and I've mentioned that earlier from Fraser, he would have been in. The second one was a little bit high, which made it a little bit more difficult for him. But it's a passing game that Southampton play. It's about possession. They're waiting for an opening. I just think at times that the movement isn't quite quick enough, particularly like Armstrong, who wants to go deep to get involved in the build-up play, and if he does that, then you need a runner from midfield, whether it be Smallbone, whether it be Aribo, or even Flynn Downs, but someone's going to get forward to put the 2 centre-halves of West Brom under a bit of pressure.
Stevens getting it forward. It was Aribo that time who'd made the run. Stevens spotting him but not finding him. Loose ball ricochets back for Southampton in the midfield. That has been a recurring feature. Walker-Peters into the feet of Downs and straight back again. Now out towards the bald-headed Smallbone over on the far touchline. Walker-Peters will be able to bring it forward through the centre of midfield now to find Stevens. Captain's armband around his left arm. Ball going into the feet of Fraser. Southampton in there. 2-tone red shirts, a dark red half, a very light red, pinky other half, reminiscent of the mid-1980s kit here, the famous Draper Tools kit. Ball over on the Southampton right, and Brooks will come in off that right-hand flank and play it in towards Walker-Peters. Back for David Brooks again. Brooks waiting on the edge of the penalty area. Smallbone takes over. He's back for Harwood-Bellis. They find possession so easy to come by. Even when they were the away side in the first leg, it was 2/3, 1/3. As near as makes no difference in Southampton's favour. I think the advantage in terms of possession will be even more marked than that. But the bottom line is, Ray, 28 minutes in, they haven't forced Alex Palmer into making a save.
No, they haven't.
That's a victory for West Brom.
Yeah, a lot of possession.
Good ball in now. Palmer was there first, getting there ahead of Adam Armstrong.
There's a perfect example, Jim. Ball delivered in from Brooks on that right-hand side. The many in the box. Well, Southampton won, which is Armstrong. You know, that's where you have more bodies in there trying to get someone getting across the near post, someone coming into the centre of the goal, someone coming into the back post. They're the options that you need as a winger when you're delivering the ball into the 18-yard area.
Aribo. Now Bednarek will be able to pick it up. Southampton working it forward here again with Kyle Walker-Peters. Brooks is infield of him. Walker-Peters with a little step over, trying to take on Townsend, then checks back, loses his balance. The odd isolated appeal for a penalty was a slip. Aribo trying to pick it up. Yakushlu can in the heart of the midfield, but Mo had skimmed it away. Hit Walker-Peters. Opportunity from distance, and the first shot on target of the night, half an hour in, comes from the lively David Brooks, but it's well served.
Yeah, he has been lively, Brooks, over that right-hand side. Natural left-footer as well. Came in field. It was a good distance out, 25 yards or so. Decided to try his luck with the strike, but Palmer's seen it all the way, and it was a bit of a daisy cutter. Never really troubled the West Brom keeper.
Albion try and break forward quickly. Ball's gone out of play past Fellows for a goal kick that'll be taken by McCarthy. Southampton did the double over West Brom in the regular season. In fact, Albion's last win here back in 2016. Their only win in 9 home and away against Southampton, although they have got a couple of players who featured in that game featuring today.
Look where Kipri goes for the goal kick for Southampton. He goes right up like a centre forward. He doesn't stay in his centre back position. He goes right up, pushes onto Smallbone. So they're trying to stop them playing out. I mean, it's obviously something that Corberan's worked in, the coach. You know, he's seen the way that Southampton play and the way that the midfielders come back to try and get possession of the ball. But he's saying to his centre half, I don't want you back there marking no one. You go right in as tight as you want and pick up Smallbone. Very disciplined in what he wants from his players.
Now Smallbone can bring it forward and do so very neatly, but in looking for Joe Aribo, he didn't find him. There's no advantage for Southampton after Smallbone was fouled, and so they get a free kick. It was interesting watching Saints here in the opening 6-8 weeks of Russell Martin's reign, that the Achilles heel they had, and it was exposed brutally in a defeat at Sunderland and then in the following game here by Leicester, was their willingness to play out from the back and play it to a defensive midfielder. It was often Downs, maybe Shea Charles, and the pressure was such that there were so many turnovers of possession that led to real high quality opportunities for the opposition. So maybe that's the thinking, that Southampton's still desperate to play the ball out. So put Kipre up there. That is risk and reward, because Southampton want to invite the press, play through it, and then all of a sudden there's an Albion defender out of the picture. So the margins are pretty fine. You can understand why Corberan's setting his side up that way, but it's a high-risk strategy.
They did that in the first game as well. This isn't just something new. No. This is something that they've planned. They've looked at the strength of this Southampton side and the fact they try to play out from the back. You know, when McCarthy gets it, he's looking to play to, you know, Harwood Bellis and to Bednarek. He's not trying to just launch the ball downfield. And then likewise, the two centre-halves are not just going to hit high, hopeful balls. They're going to play into Aribo, they're going to play into Smallbone, they're going to play into Downs, and that's where West Brom have been right on top of them.
You're listening to Southampton against West Brom in the EFL Championship playoff semi-final on Talksport with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. With 12 minutes from half-time, it's Southampton 0, West Bromwich Albion 0, on a night that's seen plenty of Southampton possession, with just one shot on target between the two teams, which was a David Brooks effort that was ably but very comfortably saved by Alex Palmer, who made one sensational stop in the first leg. The goalkeeper has had a really good season, Palmer. It's only been first choice for the last 18 months or so. Back-to-back clean sheets coming into this one. Had 6 loan spells away from the Hawthorns before establishing himself as the first choice keeper. He's been a model of persistence and has been rewarded, and he's rewarded Albion for their faith in him.
The save he made on Sunday.
Brilliant.
It was outstanding. He was going the wrong way and he just stuck his boot out. I mean, that's what goalkeepers train for daily. You know, situations like that, quick feet, quick movement, you know, adjusting their positions, and they've done that extremely well.
Now, problem here for Flynn Downs, a player stopped. And Downs in need of a little bit of treatment, and that will give Carlos Corberan the opportunity to call his Albion players over. He's just having a word with Carl Bartley and Alex Mowat at the moment, a little bit of fine-tuning going on. Russell Martin not interested in speaking to all of the Saints players, just having a word with one or two.
I think Brooks is the one, though, because he said if you're looking at who's had the most influence in the game, you say Brooks on that right-hand side. He's made some good runs in behind. He's had the strike at goal, which was saved by Palmer. But in general, his play's been decent. But he's just saying to him, when you're over there, come inside a little bit more, because it's stifling Walker-Peters. You know, on Sunday, Walker-Peters was the one who was making the runs forward from the right wing back position. But tonight, because he's got a player outside of him, you can see he's reluctant to move forward. He's always, supporting Brooks on that side of the field.
Ten to go to half-time. Southampton 0, West Brom 0. It's going to be a throw which will be taken on the Albion right-hand side by Darnell Furlong. I thought about launching it forward and then very quickly did a U-turn on the touchline and throws it back for Bartley. I talked about the fact that the second sets of hoardings have mysteriously appeared since Southampton's last game, which aren't going to do any favours for the chance for Furlong to take a long throw. Not that Albion have been able to work any such scenario so far.
No, they've not had the opportunity. They've not had the opportunity. But there, once again, Jim, ball was played into Adam Armstrong, isolated. Not a player within 15 yards of him. You're asking a lot when you've got two big centre-halves, and the times your coach was making a third, and you're the lone striker trying to protect the ball and bring others into the game.
Diangana able to play the ball back. Alex Mowatt's got it now. Mowat turning it back and turning it straight through to Adam Armstrong. Edge of the penalty area, left-footed shot, well blocked by Bartley. First real mistake that this disciplined Albion side have made in possession. Mowat sending it back to his goalkeeper, stood no chance of getting there because Armstrong read it, but he couldn't make the most of it.
I think it's actually Flynn Downs, Jim, that put him under pressure. He may have just got a little touch on it, but he just took too long in possession. And straight away, so watch Kyle Bartley, he was having a word with his midfield player. He wasn't happy at all that he took as long as he did to make up his mind. And Armstrong, as soon as he got a sight of the goal, was always going to take the strike, well defended with the back line there of West Brom.
Small ball on the edge of the West Bromwich Albion penalty area. 9 to go to half-time, 0-0. The Suns said a little bit more, disappeared behind that stand on the far side, making it easier for everybody in this main stand to see what's going on without having to protect their eyes from the sun. Floodlights on as well, and they're just beginning to take effect. The shadows from the lights are being cast now by the players on the pitch. 36 gone, 0-0 the score. And the ball with Ryan Fraser, the Scotsman bringing it forward 10 yards into West Bromwich Albion territory. Back for Jan Bednarek on the left of the two centre halves. And Stevens making his way forward from left back, is up almost as a supplementary striker in this phase of play as Downs brings the ball forward again. Downs out towards the right hand side, cross in from Brooks, deflected by Townsend, and out of play for another Southampton corner, their third.
That's what's said about Flynn Downs, though. He's got so much more to offer than he shows on occasion. He's got genuine pace. He can run at the opposition, he can pick out a pass as he did there for Brooks. Brooks tried to fire in low and hard across the 6-yard box, but once again, really good defending from West Brom, very disciplined in the defending so far in this game.
Another Southampton corner then. Left-footed in-swinging delivery, but although it's going to be easily headed away by Bartley, the whistle had gone before the ball plopped under the head of the Albion centre half. And it's a free kick to the Baggies for an indiscretion from one of the Southampton players in the jockeying for position that was going on.
Yeah, I think it was Howard Bellis there for no reason. I mean, that's very disappointing. And Russell Martin will be just having a word with his centre half there, because for no reason, just went and fouled the West Brom player. It's your advantage. You've got the corner. Just bide your time, wait for the delivery to come in, pick up the flight of the ball and go and attack it. You just run into the West Brom defender and give away a free kick.
It's been an excellent season for West Bromwich Albion. When you look at the context of everything that has been going on, as Wallace is flagged offside here, finished 5th, 75 points, that after a summer in which they spent no money, the only side to finish in the top 6 not to spend any money on incoming transfers. And it's been a season of turmoil behind the scenes, with Chinese businessman Guoxuan Lai selling the club, Shilen Patel buying 88% of it in a £60 million deal. They've got a really good manager in Carlos Corberán. Well, I think they have punched above their weight. It's certainly a club of Premier League status, but it's beginning to get things right off the field again. And it's been a good season if ultimately they do end up falling short either tonight or at Wembley. I think the foundations are in place for an even more concerted crack at it next year. As Fraser plays the ball into the feet of Aribo played it straight back to him, but Fraser continued his run, so just drifts straight out of play for a throw that Furlong would take.
It shows you though, Jim, if you get to the promised land, which is the Premier League, the money that it brings, it changes your plans completely.
Yeah.
You're going from bringing in loanees, there's a lot, as you said, the number of players that are out of contract, players that may have to go back to the parent company. Then the manager can actually bring in the players that he wants and shape the team even more so and get even more out of them.
Well, when you consider that every place in this season's Premier League is worth £3.1 million, then it just shows even getting in there with the promise of a 3-year parachute payment at the very least, even if you come straight back down, how it can transform your finances in the medium term, not just the short term. Here's Kyle Walker-Peters now for Southampton. We've got 5 minutes to go to half-time here on Talksport. We've got all 3 playoff finals coming up for you. The Championship playoff final, as I know you're aware by now, a week on Sunday, Leeds against the winners of this one. The League One playoff final tomorrow at 4:15. Bolton Oxford, League Two Crawley Crew, 1 o'clock Sunday lunchtime on Talksport 2. Flynn Downs playing the ball back through the midfield for Jan Bednarek. It'll come down now towards Fraser. Fraser's yarding from the left-hand touchline, running towards the edge of the box, right for that in-swinging delivery. Brooks coming in at the far post. Townsend watched him and heads the ball away. Moat will be able to pick it up in the midfield. Scoops it with the outside of the right boot. Fraser did really well. Tracked back and slid in to steer the ball away from Dean Garner back to safety.
Good defending from Fraser. But I say, I feel sorry for Jed Wallace at the moment. He's making so many runs forward and he's not been picked out once by one of his teammates, and there Mikey Johnson looked at him, could see he'd made a run down that left channel and then turned away from it and tried a more difficult ball to pick out Dean Garner, and it was well defended there by Fraser. Just struggling at the moment, Southampton, to break them down. No real awareness of the positions of the tail. If you look with Furlong's not playing as a right back, he's playing as a third centre half, and his job is to watch for Joe Aribo. Every time Joe Aribo makes a run forward, Furlong's latching onto him. That's his job tonight, to keep that discipline.
Yeah, when Albion are out of possession, which, let's face it, is most of the time, it is a back 5. Fellows has done a very diligent job coming in at right back, but has to watch the runs of Fraser. Goal side, Armstrong makes darting runs in between Furlong and Bartley. Brooks likewise will try and get in between Townsend and Kipre on the far side, but Southampton haven't got the quality of service right to be able to find them. They got it now with Downs. It's 0-0 Ray with 3 to go to half time.
Just with Fellows though, you're losing out on his ability to get forward, because he's so deep at the moment. That's obviously the plan that the manager's got in place. How long that lasts, I'm not so sure.
Here comes Jan Bednarek, bringing the ball forward here for Southampton. Play back towards the edge of the centre circle and work by Harwood Bellis. Out towards the Southampton right. Aribo making an uncharted run this time inside the penalty area. Just got his hands full of Armstrong, but it's blocked and goes out for a throw. Yeah, they're forcing it at the minute, Jim. That's the problem. Because their build-up play is a little bit slow at times, so it's measured. They're just trying to retain it. But when they look for a forward pass, it's just a blanket of West Brom players back there. They're keeping their shape, they're keeping their discipline. They knew this would probably be the case, that Southampton would have far more possession of the ball than they would have, but they're not worried by that. The possession actually pretty similar to how it was in the first game in the Black Country of the weekend. Mid-60s to Southampton. Small bone, playing it back here for Brooks. Kipre in strongly, steers it away. Johnston forced to go back to Kipre. Kipre and Moa is in his own penalty area. Didn't panic. Saw Brooks coming, just chipped the ball forward. It hits the Welshman and goes out of play for a goal kick that Alex Palmer will be in no hurry to take.
I don't think Moa was too happy with the pass from Kipre there, was he? He was under enormous pressure. He just chipped it against the Southampton player, hoping it was going to go out and play for a goal kick. I mean, of the two, I'd say that Corbian will be the happier of the two, because he's kept it tight. He's done everything that he's wanted as far as restricting Southampton to one shot on target from David Brooks. That's about it, really. Palmer's not had a great deal today, but the same could be said for Alex McCarthy. He's been redundant in the goal for Southampton. It's been a game of very, very few chances.
Yeah, the tail of the tape, 5 attempts to 3 in Southampton's favour, but just the 1 on target between the two teams, which was that aforementioned effort from David Brooks. We've got just over a minute to go to half-time. It's not going to be an awful lot to be added on, maybe 1, 2 at a push. Townsend goes out to the Albion left-hand side for Mikey Johnston. He of the spectacular, turning inside, but he's got away from Smallbone, lays it just across the face of Diangana. I think he let it run, believing he was going to have the legs to get through towards Fellows. It didn't, and Ryan Fraser can bring it away here for Southampton. Fraser getting past Diangana, faced up now by Fellows, who trapped back well. Good ball retention from Fraser. Everyone's pushed upfield. Then checks and lays it back for Aribo. Work by Stevens to Smallbone. Walker-Peters making a run to his right-hand side. It's 5 yards outside the penalty area when he receives it, plays it back to the deepest of Southampton's outfield players, Harwood Bellis, and that dark blue and white blanket is still there, as Ray described it. And Southampton to try and play through. Stevens back for Jan Bednarek, the Polish international, veteran of 200 games for the club. Goes out towards Walker-Peters, a former Tottenham man, former England player, bringing the ball forward again. Pops it out towards the right-hand side for David Brooks. Brooks controlling it, rolling the studs of his boot over the top of the ball as we go into 1 additional minute at the end of the first half. Bednarek down towards Stevens. Adam Armstrong making a good run. Needed the ball to be played early. Still no real sense of urgency from Southampton.
I'll go back to Jim, the way Southampton plays. It's just retaining possession. They're not really looking for that threatening pass in behind. I've got to say also that the movement on occasions isn't quite there. I mean, Armstrong made a good run, but Stevens was looking down at the ball. He's not looking forward. He's not looking, where can I play it?
Southampton trying to get it through towards Aribo. Kipre with an unorthodox clearance which skied up in the air. It comes back out for Aribo. Aribo with a left-footed curling effort. That sails over the bar, and we'll see us into half-time at 0-0.
Yeah, it looks like it should be at 0-0 at half-time. Neither side have really done enough to get a lead in this particular match. I always thought it was going to be tight. I thought it'd be more chances than we've seen so far in the game. But you can see Aribo found himself over the right-hand side there, got it on his left foot, tried to curl it, but never troubled Palmer in the goal.
A third goalless half in this two-legged fixture between Southampton and West Bromwich Albion. Still waiting through for the breakthrough on the night and for the breakthrough on aggregate as well. 0-0 at half-time in the second leg, and still 0-0 on aggregate, Hugh.
Southampton have made the running in front of their own fans. They've had more endeavour, more control, but they just haven't found a chance really to put themselves in front, as West Brom have shown all the tactical nous that has typified a Carlos Corberán side over the last few seasons. In fact, goalless at the break here at St Mary's. 69% possession for Southampton. They've had 5 shots at goal, only 1 on target. 3 shots for West Brom, none on target thus far. It hasn't really matched last night's offering, Ray Houghton, has it? Very similar to the first leg that we had, in fact, in this tie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been the flip side in many respects, because it was West Brom in the first game that started really brightly, looked threatening, and then the longer the game went on, the more control that Southampton had in the game. This one's been a bit different. Southampton had a lot more possession, as you mentioned, but no real threat. I think they're certainly missing Che Adams. I think that's a massive loss for them, because with Armstrong up front, he wants to come short a lot of the time. He wants to get involved in the build-up play. You need someone to spread the game, run in behind to stretch it, and they haven't had that often enough. The one that has done is Ryan Fraser, who's made runs from the left end field, and it's Fellows that's been picking him up. And because he's young and a bit naive, he's been caught ball watching twice, and but for a better touch, he would have been in with a chance. But it's been a game of, I think both teams look a little bit edgy, a little bit nervous. I think they know what's on offer. You know, whoever loses this, you've got 46 games next season. It's a war of attrition once again.
Are you surprised by what you've seen so far?
No, I'm a bit disappointed. I'm a bit disappointed, really, that West Brom haven't offered anything really going forward. Jed Wallace has made some great runs, and he must at some stage turn around to his teammates and say, well, one of you just look to play the ball over the top and dangle the carrot for him to make the run, instead of him just making the run, turn around going, what's going on? Because he's up against Harwood Bellis and he's up against Bednarek. I don't know if they're quick or not, I can't tell, because they're not been tested so far. And the flip side of it, you know, they're playing with width from Fraser and Brooks, but Armstrong is so isolated in the middle. Aribo's trying to get forward, but Will Smallbone's just been sitting a little bit too deep, and then Flynn Downs has made a couple of runs forward, but they'll be disappointed for the possession that they have. They haven't really created a great deal.
What about West Brom? Their defensive structure's been pretty impressive, you do have to say. They've also managed the occasion very well. The first 20 or so minutes, this was a very raucous atmosphere. They've done what any coach would have wanted their side to do.
Do you know what they've also done there?
It's become quiet.
Yeah, do you know what they've done also? They've conserved energy. Because you're not run around a great deal, have they? They've sort of went back to the defensive shape. They've sat in front of the 18-yard box. They've said to Southampton, come and break us down. And they've not been good enough to do it so far. But can they continue in that form in the second half? Can they keep that discipline? Can they keep that focus? I talked about it on after Sunday. A lot of their players were jaded. Will, not just the pace of the game, but what's at stake. Will that be a real pressure on them as well? We'll see how the game develops. But the first 15 minutes of the second half will tell us much about both teams and what they're trying to do.
I've been impressed by West Brom in a way, in that they have carried a threat still. I thought it might be 11 players behind the ball, but actually they found it not easy to get up the pitch, but actually they're playing the percentages very well. They will hit the channels, they will run down the touchline, they'll try and get throws deep in the opposition quarters, exactly, and they'll try and get corners, and then that is the chance for them to come alive.
Well, that's where they've got their strength, is from set plays. They've tried a couple of short ones, which surprised me, because the one they delivered in, Bartley won it on his own. He had a free header, and he just was too far out to head it on target and pose a problem for McCarthy in the goal. So he just tried to, put it back into an area where one of his teammates could get on the end of it. But I think they need to get the ball to Mikey Johnson a little bit more. Dane Garner's one. I think he's a very frustrating player. In there is a really talented lad who's got unbelievable ability, but he's just taking too many touches. He's not getting his head up quickly enough to, move the ball on a little bit quicker. If he'd done that 1 and 2 touch, he'd actually get more of the ball.
There's a real frustration from the players at the back here for West Brom as well, that Dean Garner is not kind of showing as an outlet ball, because he's meant to be the creative player. He's been given that role through the middle.
I don't think he's not been shown. I think he's just taking too many touches. I think there's a difference. I think he is shown. I don't think he ever shies away from getting on it, because that's what he's good at. He's good at getting on the ball. But when he's on the ball, he's taking touch, getting his head up where he should, as the ball comes to him, look, scan, see what's around him, and then move it on a little bit quicker. 1 and 2 touch, then they can get the ball back to him. Then he's facing the goal, he's facing the defence, and then he can start running at him. As it is, he's got his back to play, he's trying to turn, taking 2 or 3 touches. Flynn's coming in, or one of the defenders coming in, take the ball off him, and that's where we've just had a little bit of a struggle.
Could well be a long night at St Mary's. Remember, it could be decided by penalties, extra time to come, who knows. At the moment, all square after 3/4 of this championship playoff semi-final. Let's quickly get an update on the other live sport currently ongoing. Cricket, the second T20 between England's women and Pakistan's women, is being watched by Georgie Heath.
Well, it might be a long night at St Mary's, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that long a night for Pakistan. They're currently 71 for 6 after almost 12 overs. The target is 145. That was set by England. It was a whopping 20 coming off that penultimate over there. So Pakistan in a little bit of trouble. If England win today, they go 2-0 up in this 3-match T20 series. So currently Pakistan 71 for 6.
And the USPGA Championship ongoing in the world of golf. Rupert Bell.
Well, a most extraordinary day, and Scotty Scheffler has been talking after starting the day, having been arrested after trying to get to the course for his early tee time. Well, he's been talking after a most outstanding 65 in the circumstances that has put him at 10 under par. That is just 1 behind the leader. An extraordinary day for Scotty Scheffler, but he's talked about how he had to deal with being in jail and just turning out and relaxing before he went out on the golf course, and describing how happy he was to be out on the course. But he paid tribute to the family of the man who lost his life on his way to the race course onto the way to the golf course early this morning. But it was a brilliant round from Scotty Scheffler, the world number 1. But he currently trails Colin Morikawa, who is the leader at 11 under par. Rory McIlroy has just begun, and he's opened up with a wonderful birdie at the first hole, holding from about 45 foot for a birdie to move to 6 under par. But the story, of course, dominated by Scotty Scheffler, who is very much in contention with what he described as one of the rounds of his life, given the circumstances of how he started his day.
PGA Championship update on Talksport with Arnold Clark. Click and collect from the UK's biggest choice of used cars.
And don't forget, even though we're going to have the end of the WSL this season, the end of the Premier League, we'll have playoff finals for you as well. We also have Talksport's King of Kings watch-along this Saturday night as Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk battling out for the undisputed world heavyweight crown. Adam Cattrall, Spencer Oliver, the former IBF world flyweight champion Sonny Edwards, and legendary boxing voice Adam Smith are going to pour over every single moment of the drama. So make sure you do not miss a thing. The Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk watch-along from 9 p.m. on Talksport and on the Talksport Boxing YouTube channel. And who is going to get the knockout this evening? We're 3/4 of the way through this championship playoff semi-final. Neither side has yet to land a blow. At the break, it's Southampton 0, West Brom 0.
EFL Live on Talksport with McDonald's. Fancy a filet-o-fish in time for the final whistle? Order McDelivery now on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points delivered too. 18 plus. Rewards account required. Participating restaurants. Subject to availability. Delivery fees and terms apply.
And now we hear from listener Ian on his fascinating collection of garden gnomes.
Well, I've been collecting and categorising gnomes for about 17 years now. I've devised an 8-character coding system relating to gnome size, gnome colour, gnome boot shape, gnome facial expression, gnome fishing rod, gnome no fishing rod, gnome hat contortion.
Get on Bally! Bally Casino has arrived. The American gaming experience is now here in the UK. Join and get free rewards every day after your first £10 deposit. Get 30 free spins when you spend £10. Play online today.
UK only. New members only must opt in. Free spins on Secrets of the Phoenix Megaways. Won't be coin size 29's 30-day expiry. Further terms apply. 18 plus. Play responsibly. BeGamblerAware.org.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save up to £120 per couple. So, escape to sunny favourites like Greece, Portugal and Italy. And get 22 kilograms of baggage included. Book summer now with Jet2 Holidays. Package holidays you can trust. Up to national protected. Subject to availability and conditions.
Everyone's talking about AI right now, so now it's our turn. Galaxy AI is here across a range of Samsung Galaxy devices at EE.
Even the Galaxy S23 FE?
Yep, and you save £308.
What about the Tab S9?
It's defo on that.
AI's on the Z Fold 5.
Uh-huh. Get AI features like Photo Assist on the UK's best network.
That's intelligent.
No wonder Samsung owners choose EE. Saving ends 30th of May.
Annual price changes and terms apply. Credit from EE Limited. Eligibility and credit checks apply. Root Metrics Best Network. Verified ee.co.uk/claims.
With Now, you can stream all the drama from the Premier League instantly and without a contract.
The stuff that dreams are made of!
From top-of-the-table clashes to relegation battles and everything in between.
Can you believe it?
Get all Sky Sports channels for a day or a whole month with a Now Sports membership.
This is unbelievable!
Stream the Premier League live without a contract with Now.
18 plus Sky Sports content streamed via internet. Full terms apply.
At NFU Mutual, we treat our customers fairly. That's why our business insurance has no admin fees, no charges for cancellation or making changes to your policy. And if you want to pay monthly by direct debit, that won't cost you extra either. It's no wonder over 95% of our business customers renew each year. For business insurance you can rely on, search NFU Mutual Business Insurance. NFU Mutual, closer to your business and closer to what matters.
I love goals galore. Both teams to score is the bet for me. It's always alive, is that bet.
At Betfred, when both teams score, it's goals galore. With our goals galore bonus coupon, pick 3 or more games from a list of fixtures where you think both teams will score. A £10 stake on 3 correct selections will return £55, and 4 correct selections will return £100. Love football? Betfred. In-store and online. 18 plus T&Cs apply. Minimum 3 selections. 90 minutes only. All returns include stake. BeGamblerAware.org.
Kick off your Saturday with Game Day Breakfast on Talksport with Goals. The free football pull-out with the sun. Lace up your boots for the nation's brightest sports breakfast with insider matchday news, big game previews and exclusive interviews from Tony Cascarino and Natalie Sawyer.
You better believe it!
Get fully loaded for football with Game Day Breakfast. Tomorrow morning from 6 on Talksport with Goals. The essential free football pull-out with the sun every Saturday, Sunday and Monday.
Game day. Winner of Best Sports Coverage in the 2024 Radio Academy ARIA Awards. This Sunday.
Exclusive kick-by-kick commentary of Sheffield United versus Spurs.
Coverage from 3, kick-off 4 p.m. on Talksport 2.
St Mary's hosts its first playoff game for 17 years. Passport for either Southampton or West Brom to reach Wembley and move within 90 minutes of a return to the Premier League. Ball chipped over the top here, and the referee's got a decision to make. The decision he's made is no penalty. Brooks going down. Good ball down the right side of the area for Armstrong. Armstrong playing it back in, and it's fired wide of the near post by the advancing Brooks. 0-0 at half-time in the second leg, and still 0-0 on aggregate.
It has not yet been an eventful evening at St Mary's. I have to say, only one shot on target in that first half came in from distance, as you heard there from David Brooks. No chances of note at either end. There was a shout for a penalty. It would have been very, very soft indeed. I do not feel Southampton will feel overly aggrieved by not being given that decision. So it is all to play for. 0-0 on aggregate. We've got 45 minutes to come at least. Could be another half an hour, and who knows, penalties after that at the break. Southampton 0, West Bromwich Albion 0 as they fight for a place at Wembley where they will face Leeds United. Southampton's players just making their way back out, but just to let you know, we will have the conclusion of the Premier League season on Sunday. Arsenal taking on Everton is our live and exclusive game from 4 o'clock here on Talksport. On the Talksport app at 4 o'clock, you'll be able to hear Liverpool against Wolves. Let's very quickly hear from the Liverpool boss, Jurgen Klopp, who gave his final Premier League press conference earlier today.
I know we could have won more, but I cannot change that anymore, so I'm absolutely fine. We could have won less. Not becoming champion for a point. It's not a great experience, but it's an experience and shows you that you are really good. That will not be in the history books, obviously. It's not, and then all the wins and then the nearly wins, they will not be there. I know that. That's life. I said before, I would not be happy if I would have thought I could have done more. I couldn't have done more.
So, Ray Houghton, Liverpool title winner, who's alongside me here at St Mary's. End of an era for Jurgen Klopp. Arne Slot confirming today that he will be taking over in the summer. He's won an Eredivisie, he's won a Dutch Cup as well. What do you make of the future now for Liverpool?
Good luck.
Good luck.
I mean, the big shoes to fill, aren't they, after you look at what Jurgen Klopp did for Liverpool Football Club. You know, the passion that he brought back to both the players and to the supporters, the joy, the football that they played over the 9 years. And whoever's took over, they knew it was going to be an almighty job. But they have got the foundations. They've got a good squad to work with, and I'm sure everyone at Liverpool wishes them well.
We will have that, as I say, exclusively on the Talksport app. You'll also be able to hear Brighton's game with Manchester United, Brentford versus Newcastle, Luton versus Fulham on the Talksport app. And on Talksport 2, we will have Sheffield United against Spurs. Second half about to get underway at St Mary's. Southampton 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Could be a huge 45 minutes alongside Ray Houghton, the former Liverpool title winner, and Talksport's Jim Proudfoot.
And there are no changes in personnel, Hugh, ahead of the second half. McCarthy in goal for Southampton, Walker, Peters, Harwood, Bellis, Bednarek and Stevens, Smallbone, Downs, Aribo, Brooks, Adam Armstrong and Fraser. Albion, Palmer in goal, Furlong, Bartley, keeper at Townsend. A back four with fellows dropping in on the right-hand side and make it a back five frequently. Yakushlu and Mowat, Diangana and Johnston wide, and Wallace up front, ploughing a lone furrow. Beautiful pinks and reds. In terms of the colours of the sky as the sunset, quite spectacular here. The atmosphere really good before the game. Hasn't been a footballing spectacle to match up till now. And the longer it goes as we start the second half, the more nervy it's going to get. The higher a premium on any single goal. 0-0 on the night and on aggregate as well. And Albion win the first free kick of the second half, won by Grady Diangana.
You know, just watching half-time, Jim, both Brooks are substitutes, both team substitutes are out there for an extensive warm-up, and you do get the feeling that they're going to have a large part to play in this game. Getting your tactical side of it right is one thing, but when both teams start to tie, and there's no doubt that they will.
Free kick taken quickly by Mowat to Mikey Johnston, who was offside. Johnston had pushed forward to retrieve the ball and threw it back for Mowat to take the free kick. Looked as though it's something that was worked on. Moat stuck his hand on the ball, stopped it, and immediately played it back to Johnston. But he was still offside. He hadn't waited for him to get back on. It was a really well-intentioned free kick that would cause problems if they'd executed it properly. Southampton, from their own free kick, the offside win a throw upfield.
Well, Brooks switched off, didn't he? Because he was hoping he was going to be offside, because straight away when Mort played the ball down the line to Johnston, he turned around and looked up to say, "Oh, please be offside." And the assistant on the far side, Julie, put his flag up to give Southampton the offside decision.
Carlos Corbrand's raced to the edge of the technical area like a man who's had 8 pints and suddenly hears a song that he likes on a nightclub dance floor and races on, and was dancing from one side of the technical area to the other, trying to get a message across, seeing something that he just didn't like at all in terms of the positional play of his players.
I've seen you dance and you've been right up there, and it's not 8 pints.
No, it's 8 thimbles for me. The ball over on the left. Ball over on the Southampton side, which Fraser wins a throw from.
Fellow's done well again there. He's very disciplined, helping out in that right wing back position. But that's better from Fraser. Very positive. When he picked the ball up, he just drove at Fellows. You know, he's trying to get in behind him, get that ball into the 18-yard box.
Walker-Peters from distance. Palmer diving, but didn't have a save to make. It was well past him and well wide.
Yeah, the keeper had it well covered there, Palmer, didn't he? Just trying to settle things down. You know, the home support were doing their level best to try and get behind the team. But you're quite right, Jim. The atmosphere in the stadium was electric and has been for majority of that first half, but the game's not lived up to it. And it does come down to everyone, we're listening at home or watching on the TV, we say, well, it's not been a great game. But they don't tend to think about how edgy, how nervous, what's at stake in this particular match.
Keeper back to his keeper. Palmer will be able to play out towards Bartley. Albion just inviting the Southampton press. Adam Armstrong comes back and stops Bartley making the halfway line. He's fouled him. And it's a free kick which will be taken by the Baggies just inside their own half. Adam Armstrong, the second top scorer in the Championship, but he's come into this with only 1 goal in his last 9, only 3 in his last 14 games here at St Mary's. He did score the winner against the Albion here back in the regular season. Smallbone picking up a misdirected crossfield ball from Dean Garner, releasing David Brooks. Brooks back towards Smallbone, taking it on, right-footed, in off the inside of the post. Southampton finally break through. They've got a tangible reward for all of the possession that they've had over 3 halves of football. And they're 40 minutes away from Wembley. Will Smallbone with the goal. And it's 1-0 Southampton.
What a strike this is from Will Smallbone. The shock and joy in his face is absolutely incredible. But, oh, Grady Diangana, what are you thinking about? He just giving away the ball. His teammates were devastated with the pass that he played. He tried to pick out his teammate over the left-hand side, plays it straight to Smallbone. Played out wide, the reverse ball into his path, and he got away from his mark, and you're thinking the keeper must have it covered at his near post, but it was an exquisite strike, lots of pace on it, lots of curl. It looked like it was just at one stage it was going to go outside the post, and it curled back in, hit the inside of the post and into the back of the net, and it's probably what this game needed, and certainly this stadium has erupted.
He had next to no room to be able to squeeze that in between Palmer and the post, and he used the frame of the goal to full effect. Brilliant strike by Will Smallbone. Only his 8th goal of his senior career for Southampton. He scored the winner against Leeds in the last league game. He scored the opener against West Brom here in the league. He scored the opener against them in the playoffs tonight. And with 50 on the clock, Southampton lead West Bromwich Albion by a goal to 0.
Yeah, well, this we'll see with Darnell Furlong with his long throws got the room to do it, because it's level with the 18-yard box. He's got to throw the ball in, and you're going to see a different dynamic now from West Bromwich Albion. It's been very much sitting back and defending, but now they have to attack and get numbers forward to put the Southampton backline under pressure.
First chance Furlong's had for one of these long throws tonight. He's got next to no room in order to have a run up towards the touchline because of these little white supplementary hoardings that are placed around the inside of the perimeter advertising that is always here. It is, I'm sure, the obligatory 2 metres away from the touchline, but next to no room, and as a consequence he can't really get the power or trajectory that he wants on that long throw. He got a decent distance on it, got to the edge of the 6-yard box, but it was a loopy one. It was easily headed away. He'll have another go.
Just keep your eye on Bartlett in the middle and Stevens. They've been at each other. The referee just said a word a little bit earlier before Furlong took the last throw in.
And he comes again. More wrestling going on between the pair of them. McCarthy comes out after a dangerous potential flick on, and he punches it clear. Ball back in from Mowat. Should be McCarthy's. Oh, under pressure. He spilt it. Kipre tried to get in there. McCarthy got down very quickly and gathered at the second attempt.
He wasn't convincing there though, Jim, was he? It was just a long looping ball, always favoured the goalkeeper. You can see Kipre doesn't want to go and challenge him for the fear of giving away a free kick, so he just stood his ground, and as he went up to take it at its highest point, McCarthy just fumbled it, and he was grateful to get a second opportunity to just get on top of the ball and not allow any West Brom players in with a chance of getting a strike at goal.
Vibrant atmosphere returns here with the lead that Will Smallbone has provided. Albion getting it forward. They're going to have to be more progressive now that they're trailing. A little bit more adventurous and coming forward. And Bednarek has defended the run from Wallace really well, sliding in. He's just been able to flick it into Wallace. And he goes out of play for a goal kick that McCarthy will take. He's playing the 500th game of his career tonight. Jed Wallace, who started in non-league football, has won a playoff final in the past back in his Millwall days down in League One. But he and Albion have work to do if they're going to get to the playoff final this time around. Southampton have never played in one. They've only had one playoff campaign before. They lost on penalties to Derby in the semi-finals back in 2007 after a defeat here and then a victory after extra time up in the East Midlands, only to lose a penalty shootout. West Brom, on the other hand, have won promotion once through the playoffs, but that was down in the old League One days in the playoff final against Port Vale back in 1993. Albion bring the ball forward here. Deflected wide. Mowat coming onto it. And it looked for all of the world he was going to score. And it's hit Harwood Bellis, who somehow has been able to get in the way and divert it wide and out of play for a corner.
All of a sudden you've seen the best of West Bromwich Albion. They've turned defence into attack. Lovely little 1-2 down that right-hand side between Diangana and Fellows. And Fellows pulled the ball back to the perfect position for Mowat. But just when he thought he got his strike on target and going to pose a problem for McCarthy in the Southampton goal, Harwood Bellis got the merest of touches to divert it behind for a corner.
A corner which Mowat is going to take. Left-footed away swinger towards the penalty spot. Headed back in by Bartley, but he was doing some wrestling. And it is a free kick which Southampton will take. McCarthy just spotting the ball down. Bednarek is going to be taking it. 1-0 to Southampton. Decent response though from West Brom.
Yeah, very good, very positive from West Brom. And I just wonder if they could played it with this tempo a little bit earlier, how much better they could have been. All of a sudden now you've got Fellows, instead of playing as a right wing back, playing higher up the pitch, he's been much more forceful in possession of the ball. They look more threatening, and they certainly need a goal.
Well, we've got TV monitors in front of us, and they have just shown the Southampton fans reacting with jubilation to the goal that was scored. The celebrations included, this sounds completely surreal, maybe I've been working too hard and didn't see this correctly. It included one man with a ventriloquist dummy and another who was waving a prosthetic leg in the air. Seriously, Ray, I'm not making it up. I know I'm not making it up, and I did genuinely saw...
You're certainly overworked, pal. You're getting delusional. You've been tweeting too many games.
Imagine what the celebrations will be if they score two.
Yeah.
It's a free kick which will be taken by West Bromwich Albion inside their own half. 1-0 to Southampton. Not all over yet. It is all over in the women's cricket, though. England against Pakistan. Georgia Heath.
England, they take the series. They've won the second T20 by 65 runs, bowling Pakistan out for 79. It was a dominant performance by England with the bat and with the ball. They go into the third match, 2 matches to the best.
Joe Rebo playing it in. Here's David Brooks trying to get inside the penalty area. Was he brought down? Referee had a long look and says no.
Great positional play there by the referee. Brooks went down. Kipri with a challenge on him. I mean, my first glance, I thought it was a really good challenge. Brooks is still down at the moment. The Southampton fans are not too happy. They felt that it should have been a penalty kick, but all credit to the ref. He wasn't swayed by the noise in the stadium. He's seen it. He was right in line with it. Came with after Palmer gave the ball away, but Kipri came back and he got a block on it. And straight away you can see Brooks. He's intimating that Kipri just caught him. I'm not too sure there.
He's played the ball.
Yeah, it looked like he played the ball. Maybe just but he's certainly onside. Ariba with a fine ball to pick out Brooks, but it looked a good challenge from Kipri.
I think it's certainly an incident that the VAR would have had a long look at, but I don't think that decision would have been overturned. No VAR tonight. There will be for the final. Incidentally, sorry to cut across you, Georgie. Just to reiterate the result of that second T20 International in Northampton. England 144 for 6, bowling Pakistan out for 79. So that's a victory for England's women by 65 runs, 2-0 up in the series. 1-0 to Southampton tonight. 13 minutes into the second half. 1-0 on aggregate. It'll be Leeds Southampton if there's no further scoring in the playoff final at Wembley. And that's a week Sunday. West Brom in possession on halfway. Ball played back for Bartley to Kipre. Townsend taking a touch. Smallbone was there and he's knocked it away and he's gone down hurt, holding his left knee. Really angry reaction from Russell Martin. The incident happened just in front of him and he's very quickly in the ear of fourth official Keith Stroud, complaining about the poor challenge, or what he perceived as being a poor challenge, on Will Smallbone.
Do you know the best view of that challenge? The fourth official. The referee couldn't see it from the angle he was at, and likewise I was looking at the assistant who's on this side of the field. He couldn't see it from where he was either. Small one's gone over. How much contact, I'm not too sure. But you get the feeling in this game at the moment, Jim. Sometimes you can watch a match and even with half an hour to go you say, well, can't see a way back for the opposition or one down. You can see a way back for West Brom at the moment. All of a sudden, the level of their play, the tempo that they're playing has just gone up. Not just one notch, quite a few. All of a sudden, Johnson's on the ball. Fellows is higher up the pitch. Dean Garner is trying to rectify the mistake, which led to the goal for Smallbone. He's trying to get involved in a lot more in the build-up play.
Right, just having another look at the David Brooks penalty claim. I tell you something, from the second angle that we've seen, whilst he might have caught the ball with his right foot, his trailing left leg has come in and has definitely caught Brooks on the ankle.
It just shows you that, but that wasn't the angle that the referee seen. He's seen the initial tackle, which was the angle he was at. But certainly, Kipri took a little bit of a gamble there because he won the ball with his right foot, but his left leg was the one, his trailing leg. It looked like it caught Brooks.
I think it was a combination of that and then the subsequent challenge on Smallbone that really incurred the wrath of Russell Martin. Ball played forward here for Adam Armstrong. He's offside.
Yeah, he's
a free kick to the Albion.
Yeah, he was unlucky there. It was a decent run. That's the one where he runs between the two centre halves, and neither one of them is picking up Armstrong as he makes that run, but he just went a little bit early and he certainly looked like he was a yard or two offside. So all of a sudden we've got a game, Jim. All of a sudden the game sparked into life.
It took something special to beat the regimented Albion back line as well. Really good finish from Will Smallbone. Southampton fan as a boy, it would have meant an awful lot for him. He's been through a lot as well. A moment he will never forget. Ball's gone out of play. It's a throw which will be taken by Furlong over on the far touchline. He's had some horrendous injury problems. Will Smallbone. This is the first season in which he's been able to be a real consistent first teamer for Southampton, and it might just have provided his crowning moment. It's the goal that takes Southampton to Wembley as things stand, but West Brom has still got half an hour to be able to get themselves back into it and at least force extra time. Smallbone's won it back here on the near touchline from Johnston. Johnston very quickly back goal side of David Brooks. It's played to Carl Walker-Peters coming in off the right flank. Walker-Peters controlling it, laying it back neatly for Downs. There's much more space for Southampton on their left, and it'll be worked that way by Downs out towards Aribo. And Aribo down towards Ryan Fraser, twisting and turning and getting towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Back for Aribo again. Crossing from him, straight into the hands of Alex Palmer.
Yeah, never really posed any problems, that cross from Aribo for Palmer. And just go back to the goal, I don't think you can portion any blame to the goalkeeper.
No.
You know, normally when you get beat at the near post, you're thinking, oh, the keeper must be at fault, his position wasn't great. But I think you've just got to put it down to the finish from Smallbone. It looked like when he hit it, he was going about a yard wide, and it just arced its way back and hit the inside of the post and gave Palmer no chance whatsoever.
I bet he could hit another 20 of those and not hit one as well as that. It was so precise. The little kiss off the inside of the post that did the damage. Here's Townsend winning a corner for the Albion at the other end. They're going to be making changes in a moment, a triple change. We're going to see Thomas Asante and Mvia as two of the incoming substitutes. And John Swift is the other Albion player who will be coming on in a moment as well. First of all, though, a corner that might get them back on level terms. 17 minutes into the second half. Here on Talksport, 1-0 to Southampton. Mowat with the corner, plenty of whip on it, took a dangerous little flick off Yakushlu, right-footed volley, brilliantly struck. Darnell Furlong forcing a sensational stop out of Alex McCarthy, who threw a hand up and helped it on his way over the bar.
What a strike from Furlong. The pace he got on this right-footed strike was absolutely incredible. Give McCarthy credit, because I know it was in the centre of the goal, you expect him to make the save, but yet you react so quickly and get a hand up just to touch it over the top of the crossbar. Outstanding.
Great play all round. In comes the next corner from Mowat. Again, plenty of whip on it. Headed by Bartley, trying to tease it on towards the far post area for a run from somebody. But Wallace had vacated that area to come into the middle, so it just drifts innocuously wide, and they'll make the changes. Swift, Thomas Asante and Mvia. And we're going to see Jed Wallace come off. I think Grady Diangana has also been called in. His number up as well. And who's going to be the last Albion player withdrawn? Just waiting on the fourth official, Keith Stroud, to put Okay Yakushlu's number up. So Swift, Thomas Asante and Mvia for Wallace, Diangana and Yakushlu.
Yeah, look, the manager just wants fresh legs on the pitch at the moment. You can't fault the energy of the lads who were on there initially, but he just wants to change things up. Feel sorry for Diangana, because if they're going to lose this game, he'll look at that mistake that he made, that square pass, which was straight to Smallbone. Smallbone onto Brooks, reverse ball back into Smallbone, and then it was a quite exquisite finish to give Southampton the lead in this game.
Now, Brandon Thomas Asante, the top scorer for the Albion this season, a little bit unlucky not to have been the starting lineup.
Absolutely. You know, I think he's got something to offer. He's quick. I know he's came from non-league football, so he's still learning the ropes of being a player in the Championship, but I think he's got a little bit to offer. Certainly in the first leg, where his pace over the top, he posed problems for the three centre backs as it was that Southampton played on Sunday. We'll see if he gets any opportunities now. Look at Kipri again, Jim, from this. You know, we're going to take the goal kick. Bednarek's on the ball, but Kipri's right up on top of Smallbone, and at the back they play 2v2. Townsend picks up Brooks, Armstrong's over there, and Bartley will go back and pick him up.
Well, Southampton are going to make a change as well now that they've got the lead. Russell Martin reacting to the Albion changes by making a defensive swap. It's not going to change the shape necessarily, but he's going to bring Ryan Manning on for Ryan Fraser. And as a consequence, he's got a more defensive-minded player playing wide on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that looks that way. I mean, Manning can get forward. You know, he's got that ability, he's got that quality, but he's not certainly as quick as Ryan Fraser. So he's less of an out ball when you play the ball over the top. But he'll just go and play in that left-hand side. But I think he'll play a little bit deeper. He'll play a little bit deeper than Fraser did.
Southampton take the free kick. They chip it forward into the big area of space, because, as Ray had expertly described, keeper having pushed forward just created a sort of 30-yard pocket, really, and Brooks made a run from halfway into that pocket to receive possession. Southampton end up as a result of that getting a throw in West Bromwich Albion territory.
When you bring on subs in the manner that West Brom have, you want them to get up to speed quickly. You can't wait for them to get up to the level of the game. You know, they've got to hit the ground running now, because they have to keep the tempo up. They have to get a bit of pressure, as they had a little bit earlier on this Southampton side.
Small bone to Brooks has wrestled Townsend to the ground. A free kick which will be taken by West Brom. As things stand, it will be a Southampton Leeds playoff final. It will be live on Talksport a week on Sunday, May the 26th. 2 playoff finals for you this weekend. In League One, Bolton against Oxford for a place in the Championship. And again against one of these two next season. It's 4:15 at Wembley tomorrow here on Talksport. Sunday lunchtime, the aperitif to the final day of the Premier League season is a League 2 playoff final between Crawley and Crewe over on Talksport 2. That starts at 1. Here's Will Smallbone here towards Adam Armstrong. Downs turning neatly, finding a yard of space. Such an elegant player in possession. Brooks has it. Walker-Peters making a run outside him. He's worked it back instead for Harwood Bellis. To the centre spot for Jan Bednarek. Bednarek turning it forward for Joe Aribo. We're midway through the second half. If you're a West Brom fan, time beginning to tick down pretty quickly. McCarthy firing the ball forward, Townsend heading it back. Brought down by Johnston, won back by Walker-Peters. Southampton have done a really good job of negating Mikey Johnston so far. Howard Bellis has got it. He's 10 yards inside his own half as he ventures forward. Rolls it nonchalantly into the feet of Flynn Downs. Little 1-2 between the pair of them. Then space for Smallbone ahead of him. Smallbone taking it on. Adam Armstrong's offside. Doesn't count as he puts the ball into the bottom left-hand corner. Flag up long before he took the shot, and it remains 1-0.
I'll tell you what, that was tight though. Maybe what you say to the assistant referee, his flag went up instantly, Jim. He knew instinctively. Yeah. It's the absolute right decision, and that's what you want from your officials. See it, deal with it, and exactly what he did there on that occasion.
Timothy Wood, the man making the call, he got it absolutely spot on. It was tight, he was 100% correct. But the ball over on the Albion right-hand side, and they'll be able to bring the ball back in field. Another red smoke bomb is let off away to our right in front of the northern stand. Hard to think that there are any red smoke bombs left in Hampshire after the number that was shown out on the street before the start of this game as the coaches arrived, and many more deployed when the goal went in. It's a free kick now to the Albion.
Howard Bellis not too happy with the decision, and Vila played the ball into Swift, and there was a challenge from Howard Bellis. He felt that he won the ball. That wasn't the decision of the referee, and this is where you can't afford to give away cheap free kicks because of the height that West Brom have got. They'll certainly be looking for Bartley again because he's the real threat.
And particularly, Ray, when you bear in mind how good West Brom are from them, and they had 14 shots in the first leg, and 8 of those 14 came as a result of set pieces.
Yeah, it's about the quality now. It's all about the delivery.
Well, it's John Swift that stands over it. And judging by the positioning of the wall, it's about 13 yards outside the penalty area. Swift to take this, just teasing it in. Keeper coming round the back. Was offside and made a right hash of it anyway. He's missed the side netting actually from a tightlish angle. He's put it well wide, but it was a great position. Had he been onside, it was close, but he was off of it.
I think he's delighted the flag's gone up, you know, because that's a dreadful miss, isn't it? He just couldn't sort his feet out quickly enough. But that's the ball. You've got to credit Southampton a little bit for holding the line that they did. There was not just one, but 2 West Brom players that was in an offside position.
20 minutes to go. 1-0 Southampton after the goal from Will Smallbone 20 minutes ago. So Southampton are halfway from taking the lead to getting to stoppage time. Ball helped on by Thomas Asante, who had an excellent spell at Salford. Back it goes from Mowat to Kipre. Kipre with the long diagonal out towards the Albion right-hand side. Manning coming to meet it, misjudged it, and Albion will be able to play it forward with Fellows. Fellows in towards Swift near the edge of the penalty area. He'll break Mowatt's way, he can recycle it. Furlong plays it back out towards Fellows again. John Swift's got it again. Now towards Mowat. Mowat helping it on. And Villa now towards the edge of the penalty area. Clipped into space by Furlong. Southampton defending more desperately than at any previous stage. Good sliding challenge getting it away from Aribo. And Albion will be able to come again. Right-footed clipped inside the area. Thomas Asante not given any room to jump. Harwood Bellis stood his ground. Thomas Asante tried to run and jump. Harwood Bellis, just by staying where he was, denied him any real purchase in the jump. The ball sailed over his head and it goes straight through the keeper.
Wrong decision from Villa though, because if he'd have got his head up, we would have seen that Thomas Asante was in there on his own. There was 3 Southampton defenders in there against him, and he's not the tallest. He's not going to out-jump them. He has to be a better quality ball. The option there was to go wide on the right-hand side because they had enough bodies forward. Furlong was forward. Fellows was over there as well. Just delivered the ball into no man's land, really.
Further changes are in the offing. 1 for each side. We're going to see Adozie and Reach for Southampton and West Brom respectively. Smallbone playing it forward here. The man at the moment is the match winner. Down towards David Brooks. Taking it down towards the corner flag here for Southampton. Goes out of play for a throw. You listen to Southampton West Brom in the EFL Championship Playoff semi-final on Talksport with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Albion changed first. Townsend off. And he's going to be replaced by Adam Reach, who lost the Championship Playoff semi-final against Huddersfield back in 2017. He's only made 5 league starts this season. The Southampton change sees David Brooks come off, and Samuel Adozie will come on to replace him. Man who Saints paid £10 million to Manchester City for. 13 without a goal as he comes onto the field here. It's just about protecting what they've got to a large extent. It's not in the Southampton nature to sit back and try and soak up pressure, but they don't need another goal for this night to be an unqualified success.
Yeah, they've just got to see the game out now in the remaining 17 minutes and any added on time that there is in this match. I actually thought Brooks done well.
Southampton try and turn it forward inside the penalty area, but Albion will bring it away, and Thomas Asante is fouled.
That should be a yellow card for Harwood Bellis because he did the right thing. He was beat by the pace and strength of Thomas Asante, so he knew he had to bring him down because there was an opportunity to maybe get Fellows free over on that right-hand side, the left of Southampton.
Albion working forward past Thomas Asante again, who's ploughing that lone furrow up front. It's not working for them. Harwood Bellis looking long. Armstrong giving chase, and the Geordie striker will pick it up down by the corner flag. Southampton leading 1-0. Armstrong playing it back. Good ball towards Manning. Downs can pick it up. Work back for Harwood Bellis. Harwood Bellis taking it on a couple of touches, and then playing it to his right-hand side for Will Smallbone. Here's the first touch for Samuel Adozie, who was a product of the Millwall Youth Academy. Great flick round the corner there from Downs. Smallbone trying to take it on. There were a couple of fouls there by Albion players. Referee played a good advantage after Walker Peters was fouled. Smallbone taking it on. He was fouled as well. So the referee will stop play after the second indiscretion, and Southampton have a free kick right of centre, but only about 3 yards outside the box.
Yeah, lovely play though from Southampton. Really nice touches of the ball there. Got Smallbone free, and I think it was Moat who came across with a challenge, but certainly the referee just produced a yellow card, and rightfully so, because the challenge wasn't particularly good. There was not just one but 2. I think Kipri was the initial one on Walker Peters, and then Moat brought down Smallbone.
And I think it's Kipri that has got the yellow card. Big moment this, because if Southampton were to double their lead, you'd feel with 15 minutes to go there might not be a way back for the Baggies.
Ryan Manning with his left foot. Looks like he's shaping up to take it. Smallbone and Manning. Smallbone with his right foot, Manning with the left.
The angle's certainly favouring the left footer. Albion have got 4 in the wall and the obligatory draft excluder down behind it.
Do you know, I'd actually think it might favour the right footer. Don't forget, Jim, it was from a similar position that Smallbone actually curled the ball in, which came in off the post. So he's got previous from this sort of angle.
Smallbone wiping his brow. Southampton have lined up a mini 2-man wall in front of the Albion quartet. Smallbone leaves it, Manning strikes it way over the bar into the Southampton fans in the northern end of the ground, and it remains 1-0 with 14 to go on Talksport.
Maybe should have left it for Smallbone, Manning. I mean, you can see what he was trying to attempt to do, try to curl it into the far corner, but just got too much height on it, which took over the crossbar. I still think there's going to be one twist. You normally find that, the team that are behind will get one opportunity to get themselves back into. It's just whether they're good enough to take it.
Thomas Asante makes a darting run forward here for West Brom. The ball was 40 yards behind him. He's been too easy to mark since he's come on, because they, at the risk of labouring the point, Ray, they haven't been able to get bodies forward in support of him. Yeah, John Swift is trying to do that now. But
one of the things I said was fitness. When how could it impact the West Brom players? Because a lot of them felt jaded after the game on Sunday. I can just see it now. I'm looking at Fellows, who can't hardly move at the moment over that right-hand side.
And Downs has taken it on. Great turn to get away from Swift. Fired into the bottom right-hand corner. It's 2-0 Southampton, and Adam Armstrong surely seals the deal. The Saints are off to Wembley to take on Leeds United in the playoff final.
Well, the Saints are marching on, as simple as that, aren't they? No way back, I think, for West Bromwich Albion. I just said about fitness level, and I think it was evident there, just the way that Southampton came forward at ease, going behind the back of the midfield of West Brom, and then the ball onto Armstrong, and then on his left foot, he's absolutely powered it beyond Palmer in the goal. Brilliant finish from the Southampton striker. Just a little ball played through to him. I think it was Flynn Downs with a pass, wasn't it? He's certainly onside, on his left foot, and look at that for precision. Gave the goalkeeper no chance whatsoever. Doubles the lead for Southampton, and you think there's no way back.
22nd goal of the season for Adam Armstrong, the 120th goal of his career. Driven through the legs of Furlong, and once it got through the legs, very little chance for Palmer diving to his left-hand side. The reality is, it isn't over yet, of course. 12 minutes to go, plus stoppage time, but Albion need a swift response. They've only had one shot on target so far tonight. They need 2 goals, and they've probably got less than 15 minutes of playing time to score them to take this game to extra time. Here's Thomas Asante. Smallbone is back, diverting it back for his goalkeeper, McCarthy. Time to take a touch. His second will clear the ball way upfield. And K. Sarah is being sung with confidence now by the Hampshire locals. 11 to go.
Well, we've seen last night with Leeds, Jim, the team that's expected to go through proved their worth and got the victory against Norwich. And on reflection, watching this game, there's no doubt that Southampton have been the better side, have been the side that have had more control of the ball. The longer the game's gone on, the fitter they've looked. Now, I've got to say, the West Brom players, and it does affect you when you go 2 goals down, your heads go down, there's nothing left in the tank, nothing left in the legs, and it's Southampton now that they're looking so much more in control and look like they might get the next goal, another goal in this game.
Mikey Johnston for West Brom, in desperate need of a response. The way the second goal was celebrated on the Saints bench, in contrast to the first, suggests that they think 2-0 may well be an impregnable lead. Kipre back inside his own penalty area. The ball played forward. Thomas Asante done well to hold it up this time. He's laid it back for Johnston, and he's won a free kick on halfway.
I'm just looking at the West Brom coach, Carlos Corberán. He's actually sat down. I mean, he's virtually been up all game, isn't he? Directing inside that technical area, getting players into position. He just sat down for a moment, speaking to his coaching staff. He's just wondering what he has to do next. try and fashion something to try and get them back into the game. You've got 10 minutes of the 90 left. Can they just force one goal to get them back into it? Give them a bit of belief and get them baggy fans behind this side.
2-0 to Southampton. Albion looking for a long ball over the top. Left-footed volley goes wide. That might have been the one that had to go in. Adam Reach getting behind the back line. Hit it first time. A left-footed volley across the face of McCarthy's goal and wide. Hits the target there. He may well have scored.
I tell you what a great run, what an opportunity. He actually went with the laces, Jim. I think he'd be better off side footing it. He would have got a little bit more purchase on it. As it was, when you hit it with the laces, you're going for a bit of power, which took it wide of the target. Great run, great ball to pick him out. Very unlucky not to score there.
Albion make their final change with Alex Mowat coming off and Andy Weimann coming on. So it's a central midfielder off and a forward on to replace him. Weimann has played in a championship playoff semi-final with Derby on a couple of occasions. Didn't win either of them. The veteran of nearly 500 games in his career, the Austrian. Will he be able to make an impact? If he can't, it'll be his last game of his loan spell from Bristol City. Smallbone's been fouled. Yellow card for Swift. Yeah, and a free kick to Southampton on halfway.
Yeah, just challenge. He won the ball, but he came in from the side. And outlawed that. Well, he didn't actually touch the ball. He just certainly took Smallbone out. But what Southampton are really good at its possession. That's what we've said all along with the Southampton side. They're a possession side. They normally dominate, and this is the time to dominate. Don't give any encouragement to the opposition to try and get back into the game. Make the ball work, 1 and 2 touch. Don't overindulge in possession of the ball yourself.
It's an atmosphere of real celebration here at St Mary's. They're in possession again. Armstrong trying to win it back from Kipre, who was lying on the ground. The ball was between his legs and he was making no attempt to get up. So the referee has given an indirect free kick to Southampton for obstruction.
That's a tired lad, I can assure you. That's all that was. That was just pure fatigue. Once again, I'm just looking around this West Brom side. You're looking for a spark. Who's going to maybe get them a goal? We've nearly seen it with Reach, who got forward from the left back position in behind Howard Bellis when he had the opportunity with his left foot, but couldn't ask the question to McCarthy in the Southampton goal. But if they're going to have any sort of spark, they'll be looking at Vyman, they'll be looking at Thomas Asante really to try and muster one golden opportunity to get a goal.
Walker-Peters to Smallbone, and back again now to Downs, to Walker-Peters to Harwood Bellis. Southampton picking the passes with ease and aplomb. Aribo, Stevens coming forward and then getting the ball back over on the far touch line. And it's worked all the way back to goalkeeper Alex McCarthy. Harwood Bellis again. Southampton taking their tally of goals here at St Mary's this season in league and playoff games up to 56. It's their best return at home for 60 years. Stevens motoring forward. Foul off the ball there on Armstrong. So Stevens will go alone, slipping it off to his left-hand side. Sliding challenge coming in on Manning. Penalty to Southampton.
Yeah, they looked that way. They were always struggling defensively on that occasion. I think it's Fellows, isn't it, who've just come back from that right wing position, who made the challenge on Ryan Manning. What a great run from Jack Stevens. He was patient, bided his time. Little ball threaded through, and just as he went in, yeah, he looked like there was contact. Furlong came across. Fellows was there also, just a little dive in, but as soon as he felt contact, Manning was going over, asking the question to the referee. And there's a real opportunity to make it 3-0. Armstrong has been given the penalty kick.
Eight minutes after Adam Armstrong scored the goal that has taken West Brom to the very brink of elimination from these playoffs, he can now finish them off once and for all. Ball on the spot. Adam Armstrong against Alex Palmer. Armstrong starts his run up, right-footed. 3-0 to Southampton. Job done.
Start booking your tickets. Start booking your hotels, start working out your travel arrangements for Wembley, because the two teams that were expected to get to the final are certainly going to be there. And probably on the course of the season, Jim, they deserve it. Leeds and Southampton, with the points that they got over the course of the season in relation to West Brom and Norwich, they probably deserve to be there, and they showed their quality last night with Leeds and certainly with Southampton tonight.
Well, it's only the second time in second-tier history that a side with 87 points has finished outside the top three. Charlton got 88 in 1998 and they won the playoffs. Southampton with 87 points this time around, and they have a crack at winning the playoffs against the Leeds United side that they have done the double over in the regular season. So Leeds will start as favourites, but Southampton will have just a little psychological edge looking back at those two games.
Yeah, I know it's typical and we're impartial, but I'm just looking at the West Brom players there, and you can see the shoulders slumped. You know, all the work they put in, all the hard work, the position they'll be in, no money, not bringing in buying any players, looking for loan deals, the job that the manager's done. He's still cajoling them, he's still trying to get them to get forward, but it's a job that's just too far for them. We've only, 3 minutes of the 90 left. It's a cacophony of noise in this stadium from the Southampton fans, who are absolutely overjoyed with the second half performance.
A crowd of just a shade over 30,700 here tonight. And what officially is a sellout. Walker-Peters playing the ball forward. Downs giving it away with the ball across the edge of his own penalty area. Picked up by the Albion. Referee having to take evasive action as Jan and Veer ran onto the ball. Can now work it out towards Darnell Furlong on the Albion right-hand side. 3-0 Southampton. Play for by Veer again. Fellows. And they couldn't get him in. And the Saints will be able to dig it clear and get it towards halfway. And Adozie, who is quick, putting the pressure on the tiring keeper, who didn't succumb to it and ends up giving a throw away. It was, I think, the wrong decision from the assistant referee.
Absolutely. I don't know how the assistant got that one wrong. He was right in front of the action. The West Brom players very unhappy with the decision.
Oh, he's going to be off, is he? Well, Kiepre's just been shown a yellow card for dissent. And he was shown a yellow card for the foul challenge about 10 minutes ago.
I'm not sure it was him who got for the first one. I think it might have been Mort, That's what I thought. Because there was two challenges. He made one, Mort made the other. I wasn't sure who got the yellow card, but it certainly looked like he's just got one there.
But it must have been Mowat. The first one must have been Mowat, but everybody thought it was Kieprey. And on all of your football stats websites, it's been recorded as Kieprey. He's certainly just picked up one there. Whether he should have had a red, I don't know. I think it is academic. It's going to be a double change that'll be made by Southampton. And we're going to see Joe Aribo come off. Rothwell's going to come on. And Shea Charles is going to come on as well. Big ovation for Aribo and for Will Smallbone, who provided the first blow tonight for West Brom with a brilliant strike 5 minutes into this second half. So Aribo and Smallbone opt to be replaced by Rothwell and Charles.
Yeah, at times, Aribo and Smallbone, they're not eye-catching, but the job that they do. They work so diligently for the side, make good runs forward, and obviously we said about the first goal in this game is going to be absolutely huge, and Will Smallbone got it with an exquisite finish. Russell Martin going over to the player because he knows how important that goal was, and a big hug from Martin to Smallbone just to thank him for that opening goal, which settled everything down. And there's going to be a party in Southampton tonight of that, I'm sure.
We're about to go into stoppage time. Southampton leading by 3-0. Here's Kyle Walker-Peters. We've got 7 added minutes.
Just go back to the Kipri thing. If he had been, it's a huge mistake from the referee. You can't afford to make mistakes like that.
Well, you're right. The first one must have been Mowat. I mean, it was unclear who it was shown to at the time. 2 players coming in, and it must have been Alex Mowat that was booked, because the referee wouldn't make that mistake.
Well, I think what happened, Jim, because we've not got the monitor in front of us, but I do think what was shown was Kipri.
As Furlong brings the ball forward and tries to get inside the penalty area, the Albion couldn't quite get it to Fellows in a shooting position. Still inside the Southampton box. The Fellows will get it again. Comes back outside of the penalty area and ends up winning a throw.
Yeah, good defending from Manning over in that left back position. Just an extra step to the way that Southampton are playing now. There's extra energy about them. Talked about that with the West Brom players have just run out of just at the wrong time, unfortunately. I think that was shown in the first game. In the last 15 minutes or so, there was nothing left in the legs.
Ball clips inside the penalty area here, wins the corner for the Baggies, which is their third of the second half. They've had 7 corners to 3 in this game. But so much possession for Southampton, and they have made it pay. 64-36. Exactly the same as it was in that first leg. This time they've made it count. In comes the corner for the Albion. And the two centre-halves both going for it. Bartley actually took it out of the flight path of Kipre. Albion recycle it, play it back in. Little flick at it from Vyman. And McCarthy makes this decent save, diving to his right-hand side. Decent because his handling had to be good. If he spilt that, he would have been tapped in, but it remains 3-0.
Yeah, you have to save, expect the keeper to make. A decent header, just angled it towards the far post, but McCarthy's seen it all the way, got down to his right-hand side to get the header. And now they're just trying to see out time. We've got 5 minutes left of the added-on 7. We're 3-0 up at the moment. Just there's no way back for West Brom, and it's been like that since they got the second goal. I think as soon as Southampton made it 2-0, you could sense there was a feeling within the West Brom players that they didn't believe they could get back into it.
Well, they took only 9 points in their final 8 league games, the Baggies, and haven't scored in either leg of this playoff semi-final. It's been a very disappointing climax to their season. Long diagonal, looking for Mikey Johnston, who you would imagine is in his last minutes now as a West Bromwich Albion player. As he comes back on loan for a second spell next year, he's done well in this first one.
Walker Peters has been very disciplined tonight, hasn't he? You know, he stayed in that right back position more often than not, just keeping an eye on Mikey Johnson.
Walker Peters bringing it forward and finding Samuel Edozie here. Edozie taking it on at full steam ahead towards the edge of the penalty area.
Why didn't he play on the referee there? They had good possession going forward there, Mikey Johnson. There's little things like that with the referees that annoys you. You know, there's a little bit petulant there because there was a foul. He's, well, bring it back, we'll give a free kick. He's not even looked at the advantage that West Brom had going down this left-hand side.
Well, a free kick will be taken by the Albion just outside their own penalty area. 3.5 minutes gone in stoppage time, another 3.5 to go. Kipre working it back for Palmer, and he'll work it out towards Kyle Bartley. It is a heartbreaking way for your season to end, and I'm talking from experience. To be beaten in a playoff semi-final,
I'd rather get beat here than in the final, Jim. I've got to
no, absolutely not. As a supporter, absolutely not. As a player, maybe. Yeah. As a supporter, absolutely not.
Yeah, as a player, there's nothing worse, and I assure you, than losing in the final when you're within touching distance of getting to the next level, and it's taken away from you, and then you're thinking back to where you could have been, which is the Premier League, to where you're going to be, which is playing what I call 46 wars of attrition.
I think as a player, and as a fan, it is different, because as a fan, you get your day out, you get the excitement, the build-up, and you know who I support. I'm a serial loser, and so I've got experience of losing semi-finals as a fan and losing finals as well. Give me the day out. Give me the misery of losing a final any day. Leeds against Southampton will be the final, and you will hear it a week on Sunday here on Talksport. Stumble by one of the Albion players. Andy Vyman went down. And Shea Charles brings the ball forward for Southampton and just invited the contact from the retreating Thomas Asante. A quick reminder of our Premier League games coming up for you this weekend. Arsenal against Everton, one of the title deciding matches, kicks off at 4 here on Talksport Sunday afternoon. Over on Talksport 2, Spurs trip to Sheffield United. And we've got another 5 games on the app, including Jurgen Klopp's last as Liverpool manager, potentially Erik ten Hag's last as Man United manager in the Premier League, Newcastle trying to cement a European place in the Europa League. All of those games on the app. You download the Talksport app, it's all very self-explanatory. Look under live games and you can see exactly what is where. 2 playoff finals to come this weekend as well. And this one, the playoff semi-final, 90 seconds away from its conclusion. Southampton fans, to a man and woman, standing on their feet now and singing the side home. 3-0 they lead on the night and on aggregate. Harwood Bellis playing it back for Walker Peters, just outside his own penalty area. And then he'll turn the ball through the midfield for Joe Rothwell. Layoff from him to his right-hand side for Shea Charles. Southampton just exchanging passes, getting to the full-time whistle with ease, seemingly, though Harwood Bellis just twisted and lost possession. He was unable to bring the ball forward. West Brom will win a very late corner. The last chance of what will be a scant consolation.
Yeah, I think a consolation goal would be fitting for them. They've given everything over the course of the 2 games, but they've just come up well short when it comes to creativity in that final third or goal-mouth chances. Southampton over the course of the 2 games, I think, have been the better side.
Header comes in, and it is in for a consolation. West Brom score with almost the last touch of the night. And it's Cedric Kipre that climbed high. The corner, and away swinger met by Kipre, making an uncharted run, really. And it's a good header in past the diving McCarthy. And this is going to end 3-1.
Yeah, it was a great header, wasn't it? The goalkeeper had no chance. He just angled it across him into the far corner. Good header from Kipre. We said all along that their best chance of scoring came from a set play, and it was a good delivery, and they attacked it really well. Defensively, it was pretty poor from Southampton, though.
Alex McCarthy with the last kick of the night. Southampton, like Leeds, moved within 90 minutes of an instant return to the Premier League. And it took a long time for their class to count in this 2-legged tie against West Bromwich Albion. It took into the 4th half of the 2 games, but as soon as Will Smallbone fired them ahead with a rasping drive off the inside of the post 5 minutes into the 2nd half tonight, it looked as though their fate was assured. Adam Armstrong made sure a quick brace late in the game, one from the penalty spot. Kipre's had a late consolation with potentially his last touch in a West Bromwich Albion shirt. A disappointing way for West Brom's season to end, but Southampton march on, and it'll be Southampton Leeds in the Championship playoff final.
Southampton got everything they wanted tonight, everything their fans had dreamed of. Fans now pour on to the pitch here at St Mary's to celebrate. Their team played without fear, they controlled the tempo, they stayed patient, and they took their chances when they were presented. And they are heading to Wembley for the first time since the League Cup final in 2017. A night to remember at St Mary's, and they'll have the opportunity, Ray Houghton, to right the wrongs of relegation. Ralph Hasenhüttl's sacking, the disaster of that Nathan Jones appointment. Ruben Sellers tried his best, but it's Russell Martin-Saints who can actually heal that wound, and it was fully deserved.
Yeah, fully deserved over the 2 legs. I don't think anyone have any qualms that the rightful team's gone through to the final. I thought they were better all round tonight. Bit more quality in possession of the ball, got the goals at the right time, but Diangano will be looking at himself in the change room with that square ball which he played straight to Smallbone, which led to the opening goal. Terrific finish after Brooks reversed the ball back into his path, curled it, looked like it was going wide, the ball arced back in, hit the inside of the post, and from then on it never looked like they were going to lose the game. Got the second goal, which was usually important. Great run from Flynn Downs, slide rule ball to pick out Armstrong, and then a brilliant finish with his left foot beyond Palmer in the goal. And then it was a case of, could they get something to get them back into it? They couldn't. They got the third from the penalty spot, and then you've seen the goal at the end from Kipre. was just a consolation. But look at this, look at the sport. They didn't want them to come onto the pitch, so there's a big sign up saying the pitch is for players and the stands are for the spectators. And unfortunately, the fans are just so overjoyed. They want to be part of this celebration, but they must remember there's still a massive game to come Sunday week in the final against Leeds United.
There are thousands of fans on the pitch here at St Mary's. Actually, West Brom's players did go away to the corner where all of their fans have stayed, and they were given an actually fantastic reception by their fans, who do appreciate all the work that Carlos Corberán and the players have done. They came into this season with their backs against the walls. They made it to the playoffs. They made it to the last 40 minutes of the second leg against Southampton. They can take pride out of this season.
Well, look at it. If you looked at it this way, you would have said that Leicester would have been up there. Ipswich probably not at the start coming probably not, but you would have certainly said Southampton would have been up there, and you would have said Leeds would have been up there. You wouldn't have mentioned West Brom because they've got no money to spend.
We unfortunately are seeing very ugly scenes, Jim Proudfoot, down in that corner.
And we're seeing ugly scenes because it has been stewarded appallingly. That's the bottom line. Now, at Leeds last night, okay, the fans didn't come onto the pitch, but the stewards were there to prevent any problems at all. There is the finish line of stewards between the Albion supporters in the away end, and it's the Southampton fans that raced over there and were goading the visiting supporters, and things are being thrown, only isolated things, but are being thrown backwards and forwards over on that far side. Now, what looks like a smoke bomb's come out of the Albion end, and something has been probably the same one being thrown back.
Bottles of drinks being thrown back and forth now. Fans in that corner. That's the thing. I looked over, Jim. I saw the West Brom players. I saw the great reception from the fans, and I thought, where are the stewards around the West Brom players? Suddenly, the Southampton fans came over to that corner. The players quickly exited, but it was just left with the West Brom fans facing up with the Southampton fans. And genuinely, 5 to 10 stewards in that area, just not good enough.
I mean, what were they expecting to happen? The stewards. I don't understand it. I do not understand the way that has been policed.
And finally, police have now reached that corner. We do not want to see ugly scenes, and unfortunately, we are seeing something that we just didn't want. Things being thrown back and forth, the fans making it about one another instead of the Southampton fans celebrating. There are more and more and more of their fans now pouring over to that corner to essentially go the West Bromwich Albion fans, many of whom, of course, are still in that away end, expecting to leave the ground.
It's a great shame because the Southampton fans should be celebrated, be overjoyed that they've got through to a final after so much hard work that they put in this season. And same for the West Brom supporters. They've came here in the thousands to support the team. The players went over there from West Brom to thank them for the support, and that should have been the end of it. You know, the fans should have been on the pitch. There was big signs up saying, please do not go on the pitch, and they should have adhered. But I agree with Jim. Where was the police? Where's the stewarding? It's just not acceptable.
No, absolutely not. And listen, if you've been at the game, you want to react to what you've seen, you can give us a call here on Talksport. The good, the bad, the ugly. 03717 22 33 44. It will be Leeds United taking on Southampton in the Championship playoff final. Jim Proudfoot, Ray Houghton, thank you very much. Remember, Oxford United taking on Bolton in the League One playoff final tomorrow. 4:15 kickoff here on Talksport. Talksport 2 on Sunday for the League 2 playoff final between Crewe and Crawley. That starts at 1 p.m. It wasn't to be for West Brom. It is a season the Baggies can take pride from. They'll be back in the Championship next season. But will it be Leeds or Southampton who join them in the second tier? We're going to find out live on Talksport on Sunday, the 26th of May at Wembley. It is, hopefully positively, a Friday night for a party in Southampton. The Saints are marching on to Wembley. They're 90 minutes away from an immediate Premier League return. It's finished live and exclusive on Talksport. Southampton 3, West Brom 1.